Here you are, folks. Get ready for your hair to stand on end, for your spine to tingle. Here is a perfect setting for a thrilling performer. A pedestal, a spring net, and a hoop. All ready for that daring, breathtaking, exciting exponent of wizardry in the air, that world-famous acrobat, Pudgy. He jumps from there and bounces to here. He goes around and around, and he comes out of the hoop with the big sharp knives, and he lands right here. Now, introducing Pudgy. Wake up! Hurry up, Pudgy!
You seem to be having trouble, Uncle Max.
Say, Betty, you're just the one I want to see.
No, kitten.
Come up here and see if you could put Pudgy through this act, will you please?
Oh, really? Okie doke. That's easy. You just watch me. I'll get that Pudgy, all right, all right. Wake up, Pudgy. Oh, come on and get up, you little lazy bones. My, what a lazy dog. All he needs is some pep, Uncle Max.
Well, maybe you're right, Betty.
Oh, I'm sure I am. You gotta have pep. You gotta have energy in large amounts. Nowadays it's speed that counts. You gotta have pep, you gotta have pep. You gotta have vitamins from A to Z to give you speed and energy. You gotta have pep. Milk and eggs will give you dancing legs. Fruits and greens, peas and beans, eat them and that means you're gonna have pep. Woo! You're gonna step out with all the speed you need. You'll find out that you'll succeed. You gotta have pep. Woo! Say, let's go. Vim, vigor, vitality. Mix it up with a little eggs. Just a dash of milk. Get them all together and let it get wild.
That's it! Chicken and king! Hey, eliminate! Hey, come on, So long, Betty, and thanks a lot.
I just spoke to James O'Keefe at Project Veritas, and he was telling me that they're getting thousands of emails, whether it's Marines who are, on active duty, who have been forced to take the vaccine or being fired or put on leave because they won't take it, whether it's critical race theory, parents all across this country, Hispanic parents, black parents, white parents, what does it matter? Why do we even categorize people that way? Who are saying no more, they've had enough. This is really the moment for people to unite, because what we're seeing is that these issues were never about left and right. They're about right and wrong and good and evil.
Yes, what are you, fucking commie? Huh?
No, I ain't no commie.
Oh, you better not be. I don't know commies in my car. No Christians either.
That's right. What up, cyberspace? Get out, cyber fan, fanbots everywhere. It's irate prostate. It's Friday. You know what that means? It's time for the CREEM stream. It's CREEM stream 190, by the way. I boomered the fucking intro. Sorry about that. I've got the transparency. It's in the file now. I don't know, man. I thought I'd put it in there. I swear to God. And I cannot blame anything chemical. You know what I'm saying? Quim, that's on me. Yeah, it is. Anyway, so we're of course it's Friday and we got the crew in. Got a little special guest, Miss Ashretta. How you doing? Groovy. Yeah. All right, so let's. I guess we'll go ahead and say hey to everybody. A is for Atema. Hey, Atema. D is for Becca Fairley. C is for Chigwan or Shigong. Right?
One of them.
Yeah, guess who's muted? God damn it.
We're muted. We were muted.
Man, I had it. I swear to God. All right, so on this version of OBS, it's like the mic and the desktop audio things jump around as something becomes live. It like pops it to the top, so I have to like come around and shit. And I thought I had the desktop audio turned on, but I didn't. So no more excuses, Irate. You done boomered twice. You don't get any more. No freebies, man. All right, fair enough. All right, so let's once again say hey to the lovely Astrella.
Hey guys, how's it going?
They're gonna hear that now.
Great.
And A is for Atema the Hun.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi.
B is for Becca.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
It's
She gone. She gone.
Hey, you got it. Hi.
And I always want to say Chigwana. I don't know why. You know, that's my brain.
I don't know. Everyone calls me whatever, so.
That was just stupid. I think it's an insurance commercial. And ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. And then whenever that phrase is, it goes, I'm going to go bop, bop, bop for some reason.
Liberty Mutual?
Yeah. Ba-da-da, 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 bop, bop, bop. See?
What?
It's
Liberty,
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
It's called OCD, man. Or something. I don't know, man. My brain wants to put that 3 beats in there every time I hear it, and I have to do it. It's weird. Yeah, I'm weird. So what? Fuck you. All right. Trippy, how's your day been, man?
You don't know me, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's been waiting all day to do that.
Yeah, I was. I had my finger on the trigger. It's like the first time he said hi to everybody. But yeah, it was a good day. I hung out with everybody in my Discord and my other Discord. It was weird. We picked the wrong one first. But like, yeah, me and Pickle and everybody were just listening to music for like 3 hours.
Oh, cool.
Talking shit, playing all sorts of stuff.
Mostly ICP or anything different? Anything?
Nah, dude, we were playing some Billy Squier and some Megadeth and some System of a Down, and we had a good little mix going around. I was picking random shit from YouTube.
Oh, fun metal stuff.
Mm-hmm. And gaming suggested some Hollywood Undead, and Pickle had me play a song from
kick him out of the chat. I'm just kidding.
Cool little song. Yeah, yeah. Gotta love the chat. Hot chat. And there you go. Don't be long-winded.
That's pretty cool. Human Skin Lampy. Greetings.
Oh, I like that name.
Yes. We know what that's about.
He says females with nice skin doing a show is always a bonus.
I was wondering what the human
Might take a
skin
lamp out
lampy.
of you.
Some Ed Gain shit there.
Yes.
Yeah, or...
That lamp works.
No, the Nazis did that shit too. Did you not know that? Like with tattoos,
The Nazis.
Skin from tattoos and shit, and would stretch them as lampshades and shit.
Yeah.
You know, he made
rather maudlin
nipple necklaces.
Yeah.
Nipple necklaces.
Yes.
There's like pictures of them. You can find it. It's pretty gross.
See, man, that's what happens when you hang around bubonic. I wonder where he is, man.
Yeah, I covered it on our show once. I was like,
I didn't know Monkey was not going to make it tonight. It don't seem like Monkey going to make it. Bubonic,
Gonna work.
get your ass in here.
yeah,
We got room.
He's in the chat. He's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah,
He's in the YouTube chat.
we did the nipple necklace thing once, so he knows what I'm talking about.
That's what I figured, man.
Monik made a necklace out of nipples and some earrings out of some buttholes. It was crazy. I see Roots Calhoun. What's up, Roots?
Roots, what up, man?
That's icky.
Yes, we're getting together for sure this Sunday. Everybody, mark it down. Roots and I are going to jam. Like an announcement will be generated somewhere, either during or after this broadcast. I can't remember how I set it up. But yeah, it puts the lotion on its skin. It's got to be nice and smooth, stretchy, stretchy. God, yeah, I've read too much shit about it Gein too, man. I don't know.
Nipple necklaces, you say?
He's fascinating.
Hey, Virgie.
Hey, Virgie. Hey.
Hey, I'm sorry. I heard talk of nipple necklaces and I couldn't resist. Where can I procure? Are they? All right. I got a quick question about these nipple necklaces. Right? Are they like pierced nipples that you've taken and strung together? Are they like a pendant on like a leather cord? Or is it literally like a necklace of sewn together nipples?
They're like sewn together.
That's fucking horrifying.
It is.
Keep the joke going.
What I immediately envisioned
I immediately envision like a nipple choker, and that gives me like the heebie-jeebies so bad.
It's a draping necklace. It's a hanging necklace. Like we all
know nipple necklaces.
If my sister was watching this, she has now left.
I am like so sorry I started
No,
this.
it's fine. No, it's cool. No, I'm kidding, man.
We all know who Asherilla's DM's up with now.
That's right. Yeah, my sister's busy tonight. She ain't watching this shit. Yeah, my niece had to go to the hospital and stuff. So, but it's gonna be all right. Everything's cool. You know, it is what it is. Nipple, baby. But it has nothing to do with nipples. All right. Right.
Nothing
Dude, but I know, man. So, Virgie, how's your week been, man? Since you hopped in.
Wait, what was that? What did you just say, buddy?
How's your week been, bro?
Oh, it's been all right, man. Just working streams, you know what I mean? Same shit, different toilet. Nothing special or noteworthy, man.
Trying to get ready to pack and move, man. Fuck, we got the move is coming up a week from Tuesday. So probably this time.
Yeah, I'm sure you're dreading that shit, dude. I fucking hate moving.
Yeah, it's so stressful. It is like moving is like emotionally exhausting, physically exhausting. Like you go through all your shit. Like you have to look at everything you own, and like it's hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, you know, for like sometimes though I get in this like what I call like search and destroy mode, and I'm like, you know. Keep, donate, trash. Keep, donate, trash. Keep, donate, trash. You know, and I try to do that, and minimize stuff. All right. So, and now we've got a closet empty, and so I'll be able to stack all the boxes in there now, and I'll be.
That should make you feel real good, though.
Yeah, I'm loading boxes and stuff. Yeah, we're moving in. You know, it's kind of a bittersweet thing. You know, my dad passed away last December, and you know, and he left me the house, and he wants me and Uzi to, you know, to live there like he and Mom did. So, you know, it's and today's like the second anniversary of Mom's passing. Yeah, but it's a you know, it's a mixed blessing. Be a little bit more financially, you know, unterrifying. But I'm sure there'll be shit. You know, I've got to replace a water heater and all this shit because we've got the hardest water on the planet. It's like lime and calcium.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And so like half the literally the thing is half full of the silt. And it won't work. That's why it keeps working.
Jesus, man. At that point, like I know they're fucking expensive, but you know, like the in-home like water softener systems and shit that they have.
Yeah, I talked to Uzi about.
What is it? It's like a colon or some shit. What is the fucking name of them? I lived in a house one time that had them.
A filter system. Like,
yeah,
a filtration.
Softener?
Yeah,
and everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they run it through. Run it through salt. It's like a salt and something out the charcoal activated charcoal thing.
Those systems are fucking expensive to maintain if you don't have a lot of free cash.
They're like $5,000 just to load it in.
Yeah,
man.
the install is expensive as fuck, but it saves you down the road if you've got hard ass water. You know what I mean? With just fucking plumbing repairs and all kinds of dumb shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sorry about that.
Yeah, where I live, it's like that too.
No, you're good.
Water.
Uzi handed me something, and she just walked in the door. Say hello to Uzi, people.
Hi, day.
Hola, mi amigo. ¿Cómo estás?
That's sweet, dude. So yeah, this has been a weird week. I guess it's time to move here. I guess we'll live in the realm of the demon tranny. And but
aren't all trannies demon trannies?
Well, this one especially though. They're gonna read you a story, Mr. Verde.
That's pee-pee mushroom head.
That's pee-pee mushroom head.
It makes me laugh every time you say it.
Yes. The phallus mushroom head.
Pew 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 pew
Pew,
pew.
pew, pew.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Break it down.
While we're waiting for this, can I get a little bit of a thing in the chat here? I can't decide what I should do for my 2 minutes of hate. So
We're not even there yet. We haven't done our week yet.
I know, and I want people to help me decide. So I'm going to give them 3 random topics that have kind of covered my life this week, and I want them to pick one that sounds interesting, because I'm going to end up bitching about all 3 if I don't have somebody give me a focus, and then everybody's going to think I'm crazy, and I'm going to sound more female than BECCA talking about being female. So
This entire conversation has been very effeminate up to this point.
I'm trying to keep it from being bitchy, though.
Hey,
so
can I lick your butt?
Oh,
I think that was for you.
Right?
I need an adult now. So, what sounds more interesting? A fist fight over an anime character between an autistic 23-year-old and a 14-year-old? A retarded circular logic 20-something real estate manager that has no idea how to plan anything, or how Samsung has decided the Philippines is the only place you can get anything delivered from, and you can only speak to people from there, and their systems don't work. So 1, 2, or 3, I guess.
Wow.
9.
9. Dude,
not
I
allowed
don't
to
even know what
most
to
of the time.
bitch about because everything was so fucking weird this week.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'll use my time to demo if she needs it.
No, man. Well, you know, it's like all right, so
It's a point of privilege.
yeah. What do we
Well, you
usually
pussy old pivot.
You'll start calling each other comrade. I'm fucking out.
fuck that shit, dude? Yeah. It'll be a cold day in hell. Oh, BECCA, by the way, man, I don't know if you know this. Sunday night or late Sunday night, Sky News Australia is doing a new expose on the Wuhan thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to grab it so we can do it on Odyssey and Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank God.
Martial art of Wuhan.
Yeah. Oh wow! Look at that. Your ridiculous unit lunatic chats 1999 with a nice. I like that. Is that a sticker?
Why? Thank you.
No, that's his avatar.
Nice.
Man in the moon?
Luna's pretty cool.
Yeah. Dig it. Yeah. Indeed. We dig the lunatic. All right.
Fuck yeah.
And the lunatic is in the grass. That's what Pink Floyd tells me. All right.
Yeah.
What does that mean, actually? Like, I never understand any like kind of lyrics like that. I'm on.
The lunatic in the grass was actually what's his name that ended up almost committing suicide and going totally crazy. It was talking about him getting lost in drugs. He created the line himself.
So it was about weed.
No, yeah, it was about Sid Barrett.
so.
Yeah, that's what.
Sid
That's
Barrett
what,
dropped
yeah.
a bunch of acid and broke his fucking brain. It wasn't weed.
Well, no, but
They don't call acid grass.
That's talking about the.
It was in the
Fancy
acid. The lunatic was in the acid, not in the grass. Then so.
I
the
think you're
grass is the discussion of laying down in a field.
Yeah, tripping
on acid.
while you're tripping your balls off. Well, I've done that actually before. I can't. Dude,
Because it's a
grass.
really common thing to do in fucking Britain, guys.
Oh, it
Britain
feels
has
so
a few
cool.
fucking fields.
Man.
You know, they have a shortage of fields in Great Britain, y'all.
Really?
Damn.
All right.
You know,
Strawberry
not a
field.
lot of grass
Right.
there. I think it more had to do with the lunatic is in the grasses and he was laying down. So watch out for the crazy person laying down on the ground. Don't let him get up.
Gotcha.
So you notice I figured out how to use the Streamelements voice overlay thing. Yeah, and I figured out how to use the buy me a coffee thing. And Kimmy, if you're out there, thanks once again for the coffee. I appreciate it. So I'm just trying to trying to learn new things.
Yeah, dude, it doesn't take too much on there. It's actually pretty easy for the strict ones.
Indeed.
It's just different.
Oh, Rational actually had the actual thing. I was always just going off of the stories and stuff and the rest of the songs and the history of the band. Rational Wrongthink says the lunatic was the media, politicians, etc. The paper there
holds their folded faces to the floor, and every day the paper boy brings more. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So
I understand.
Yeah.
It wasn't marijuana.
No.
I thought it had to do with Syd Barrett because most of that album has to do with Syd Barrett.
No, Wish You Were Here, was really more of the Syd Barrett album, but Dark Side was more like about the cycle of life and the futility of it.
It always felt like it was somebody losing their mind to me.
Yeah, at the end.
It was somebody walking through the process of losing their mind.
Yeah.
That's what their album was.
I think, and we figure, we learned in The Wall was all Roger Waters slipping deeper and deeper into depression. So, Animals is probably my favorite album. What about you, Virgie? What's your favorite Pink Floyd album?
I don't know. I'm probably just gonna be a queer and say Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Have you ever listened?
I hate to be basic as fuck, but I mean, I literally fucking, in my music folder, I have everything that Floyd has ever put out. Like, I literally have like fucking, like 20 gigs of fucking Floyd.
Do you
like I have every...
Yeah, the stuff like Obscured by Clouds. And
I've got all.
Saucer
I've got
Full of Secrets, all that
fucking
shit.
Everything. I have every album and like 3 releases of most of them. Like I've got the original CD release, the original vinyl, and then if they re-released it down the road.
Do you have Uma Guma?
I might. Hold
classic,
on.
yeah.
I love that. That's got my favorite thing they did, and that was the small furry animals grooving in a cave grooving
with a pick.
Crazy Diamond. Yeah, Crazy Diamond is still hands down my favorite.
God, they've got like
that's what you were hearing.
30 albums or something.
Well, all right. So I found like a quadraphonic remix, the original Alan Parsons quadraphonic mix of it, and I burned it. Yeah, I burned it to a 5.1, and Uzi and I listened to that. And we're like, it was really weird. The sun was coming up, and we were both crying like a baby at the end of it. It's crazy.
Oh, that's wild.
It was very deeply emotionally moving.
Yeah, I have Umaga. I literally have everything. I don't even know why. Like I have every studio album, every live album, every compilation, all the bootlegs, like the Syd Barrett tapes and fucking like the BBC sessions.
Oh, okay. You got the
I have all. Yeah, I have all the box sets, like the Dark Side of the Moon box set, the fucking, they're all rips though. It's not fucking, I don't have the actual, you know what I mean? And then I've got all of it in like the vinyl rips, like the direct, like the FLAC fucking vinyl rips. They're uncompressed. They're not MP3s or any of that shit.
Right.
I totally forgot I had all that. You're like, what's your favorite Floyd album and shit? I'm like, wait a minute. I have everything from them. I just don't listen to music anymore, man.
Well, all right. So, Timo, you said Wish You Were Here is yours?
Yeah.
All right. Asherella,
Crazy Diamond is a song for me. It's like the song of all songs. So.
Here.
I might actually agree with the Tema.
Okay.
I think, yeah. But of
Crazy
course,
Diamond
Dark Side
is
of the Moon
probably.
is,
It's a great album, yes, but there's something about the song "Crazy Diamond."
Yeah, shine on you, Crazy Diamond.
Yeah, there's. I don't know. Maybe it's because I come from a generation where there was a fuck ton of suicide and drug overdose, and maybe that's why it's something we're so. It strikes me a little deeper, but that song has always just stirred and moved me deeply. It's one of those songs that always elicits an emotional response.
Yeah, suicide and drug overdoses have definitely not gone down. They've definitely gone up since then.
Well, they have since COVID.
Right,
well, they have just in general.
Well,
I know so many people that fucking, it sucks. I get where you're coming at, Tema.
All right, so Asherella, what's your favorite Pink Floyd album?
Uh-oh.
You killed her.
She died. Oh no. Ash.
Maybe Asherella's.
Oh,
As you know. All right. Well, all right. So we'll go to Becca. What about you? What's your favorite Pink Floyd album?
I don't know because I never really listened to Pink Floyd.
I'm gonna steal Becca's answer. I have listened to them. I just don't really have like a favorite.
She's gonna pop back out and pop back in. I bet she had a connection.
Yeah. She'll be able to see. Yeah.
Didn't they have one called Pulse or something like that?
Yeah. That's a video, a live video album, and the second disc is Dark Side of the Moon.
Can y'all hear me?
That's the one I
there
remember.
You are, Asherella.
Hey. I was just talking about Pink Floyd, and then I was like, "Oh wait, nobody can hear me."
Well, yeah, all right. So all right. We're bated breath. We want to know what your favorite Pink Floyd album is.
The Wall, because that was like my first exposure, like as a little kid, and I have a sister who's older than me, and she was like kind of a hippie chick teenager, and she would listen to The Wall all the time, but she had this like cork board, like bulletin board that she had hanging in her room that she painted like the cover of the Wall album, and it's like it's a good album, but it also like reminds me of my sister. So I don't know. There's that like sentimental link there.
Well, all right. So, all right. Hot take on Roger Waters. He huffed his own farts after he did The Wall, and he became a total dick. And he anyway. But he was the lyrical brilliance of Dark Side is just incredible. All of the animals. I keep coming back to that one for some reason. I don't know. It's pretty. It breaks down people into three basic types: pigs, dogs, and sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of what? All right. So I'll shut up on that shit. All right.
I honestly listen to more like Rush and
hell yeah,
the Grateful Dead and Fish and String Cheese Incident, and I listen to a lot of independent music. Like I always have. I've never been much interested in what the corporations are offering. It sounds like shit to me.
The very first CD that I ever owned that was like mine, like my CD that I owned alone, it was no one else's, was a gift for Christmas from my hippie chick sister, and it was Grateful Dead Skeletons from the Closet.
Okay, it's a fantastic fucking album. You can sing along with every single song on it.
This is true, yes.
It's
still
great.
a good album.
It's kind of like a great.
I was 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
at
just
9,
listened
you
to
could
the Dead
understand
for
the
the
words
drugs.
and sing along.
Yeah. You guys. It would be super surprising what my first record was.
Well,
Backstreet Boys.
I've often said this phrase: "I'm grateful they're dead."
I'm
not a fan myself.
You know what it is, man?
Phil Lesh is disgusting.
Hey, Timma. Timma.
Who, what?
All right, hold on. Phil Lesh, the bass player, in the Phil Zone. All right,
You don't murder me.
See, here it is. All right, it's not really the dead as it is deadheads. Right, because you've got genuine, really real deadheads, right? And then you've got these stupid fucking spoiled rich kids that are there to do acid and fuck. You know,
Trust fund hippies.
Yeah, exactly. Trust fund hippies, exactly.
So I followed the Dead for a while, and I could tell you that there are 3 very clear camps. You have the weekend warriors that are people that just pick up the shows, and they're generally like middle class, yuppie style hippies that they drive a Westfalia because it's trendy, or they have a Tiguan now, but they drive a Volkswagen because they think it's the cool thing to do. They use hair chalk, and they wear freshly brightly colored tie-dyes. They're the equivalent of rubs for motorcycles. Then you have what we always called Camp A, and everybody who was not completely crazy avoided Camp A. Camp A was the commies. They were the crazy hippies that didn't bathe. They made weird drugs. They did weird shit. They generally didn't even go inside the shows. Everybody avoided Camp A. Camp B is where all of the yeah, I want to party, but I still like to do things, make shit and eat food and not be crazy. And I will bathe and don't you dare touch my shit. So it was like the normal people. And then you had the like weekend warrior people that were just enjoying the music. And then you had the crazies. Now, Camp A was always there. Camp B changed out a lot. And, you know, obviously the weekend warriors were never permanent. Camp A has always been the terrifying group. Fortunately, they've always been the smallest group, too.
Thank you for that breakdown, that analytical breakdown of deadheads. I appreciate that, Tema.
There's an actual culture there. I'm sorry, guys. That's my nerd thing.
Okay, I drive a Tiguan and
Shut the fuck up.
Man.
Dude, I live in Portland. Do you know I'm surrounded by foresters and outbacks? Do you know some of the biggest assholes
Well, yeah,
drivers
it's not
in
a
the world
Subaru.
Tiguan is legit a flower child.
It's a Forester, though.
Yeah, she's
They
definitely.
sold the Subaru
Okay.
about a Tiguan instead.
That's
Okay,
right.
but the older Subarus are all right. It's the people that are driving the like 2019s and they haven't figured out what a fucking turn signal is. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna chunkle your ass
All right,
across
your
the
2
fucking
minutes is go. I'm going. Keep going, but Tema, you just.
my 2 minutes. Oh shit!
It's
What was
on-
I supposed to do? The only vote I got was for autistic fighting. Okay, so we're gonna call them.
You were
things
talking
1
about
and
something.
2.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you want me to go off about retarded drivers and horrible? I've had such a week, y'all. It took me 2.5 weeks to get, or it took me a month to get fucking headphones that were very expensive, and I had to be refunded, and I haven't been fucking refunded for because apparently Samsung has decided that the Philippines is the only place they can have their customer service from, and the problem is the Philippines has shit communication services, and then they're making everybody wear a mask. So they have shit communication services and muffled fucking mouths. And this is not their first language. So you're trying to muddle through a Filipino accent while trying to figure out what's going on with something that has an X in the name. It's Galaxy. Do you know how insane it is to try to hear Okay, 3 fucking hours. That was my Monday. Tuesday, I find out, okay, I finally got my shit. Then I find out that my neighbor is fucking crazy. He decided to flip out on my 9-year-old because my 9-year-old said, no, I'm not apologizing to your 4-year-old because your 4-year-old's having a temper tantrum. And that apparently triggered this 30-year-old man to call my 9-year-old a bitch, which promptly got me involved. And then he tried to tell me to shut the fuck up and walk away. And when I looked at him, he got scared and walked back in his house. So he's actually a real bitch. And my husband thought it was actually a woman I was arguing with when he was arguing with me. So I don't know what that was, but that guy's fucking retarded and crazy. And I know why he only has partial custody now. Smoke some more pot, you fucking weirdo. And then the rest of my week has just been fucking crazy.
I will, goddammit.
What?
Yeah, me too, man.
No problem.
Some more pot.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
I'm like, I want more weed, dude. I'm like, dude, I don't even like dabs. And I'm thinking about picking some up because that guy is just so fucking retarded. I'm like, okay, I need to smoke all the weed so it's not there.
You make yourself as retarded as him so you can go with it.
Oh, dude.
I get that kind of strategy. That's right up my alley.
There you go. I'll just do all the drugs so they aren't
speaking
there
of
for
which,
him.
Why don't you roll a joint, man? Like, I got some really good shit around here somewhere.
Somewhere.
Like,
Yeah, keep it next
to
to
the
other
left, to
good
the
shit.
right, behind you, in front of you.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
so
I got like this bag of it. Like, I got
Okay.
a bag
Usually
of bag.
it comes in a
I got a
Typically,
bag.
weed comes in a bag.
No, but I got like
Lift the fuck
I
out
got a
because
bag
my
of weeds.
Bag of weed.
He's standing there with a bong in his. I shit you not, guys. He's standing there with a bong in his hand, trying to mad dog point and tell my daughter she better fucking do this, that, and everything else. He tried to tough guy, holding a bong in his hand, talking to a fucking 9-year-old, and he's over 30. I'm like,
bong in his hand.
Was he using?
Hey, it's you live in Portland.
It might have been Virgie.
You live in Portland. Like, I don't think there are very many motherfucking people around there that have any goddamn sense, especially when it comes to, like, you know, things you should and shouldn't do in front of children. You know what I mean?
What is socially acceptable?
They made a show called Portlandia that's just all about, like, you know,
how fucked up Portland is. I know. It's just kind of like, oh my fuck, dude. Okay. Oh my god.
So the meme is real, then, is what you're saying.
That show's kind of
Yes.
funny.
It's a documentary, not a comedy.
It is. Okay.
It's not very
so,
clever.
And he's not unique up here. Like, that's a pretty normal kind of flip out response.
Well, they all wear black and fucking fight trash cans and shit. Yeah, they're not really the most unique human beings on the planet.
They're fucking
It's
crazy.
almost as if that they base their entire ideology and worldview off of collectivism. It's almost like they're a bunch of fucking communists in Portland.
Almost.
But they're retarded. But here's the worst part, Sergi. I don't live in Portland proper. I live in a suburb that's a couple, like 2 miles, 3 miles out of town.
Wait, so
It's
as bad as
southwest of
Portland
it.
is itself, you're saying there's
But
an
what's
improper
happened is,
Portland?
well, what's happened is that Portland has got so unlivable. Portland's gotten so shitty. They've all left the city and they all live in the suburbs now.
That's
So
improper.
it's just Portland has gotten bigger.
It's so improper.
I heard
It's
Ash
very
snort.
improper.
That made me laugh.
They're so improper. You have no idea. That's why we call it Portland proper, because once you cross that line, everything smells bad.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's more
smells
like a pustule.
Kind of smells like somebody holding a lighter up underneath a tinfoil with a
Oh,
plastic
it
straw in their
smells like-
mouth.
It smells like burnt meth and human waste. Does that help?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was going to smell like, to be honest.
San
with you.
Bernardino
It,
is
just,
the
it
next thing that
smells
comes
like
to mind.
homeless people smoking meth and shitting themselves. That's pretty
Yes.
much what I thought.
Yes.
Right. Smack on target. That's right.
And these people will lose their shit if you don't wear a mask.
All right, so two more. All right, so we need to move on. 2 minutes ahead.
I'm good.
All right, Asherella, you got 2
Okay.
minutes. Are you pissed off? Got a dollar?
Yeah, there's so many things I'm pissed off about right now.
Go for it, girl.
Yes, I am ready to go. Okay, so my current frustration today is, okay, you know how like we have many choices as far as cell phone carriers go lately, and there's lots of these like new like prepaid networks that are like so much cheaper than like Verizon and AT&T and that kind of thing. But you know, when you buy your phone, you typically buy it through an existing like mobile service provider, and they can lock your phone and keep you from like, even though you have paid for this device and you own this device outright, like evidently if you haven't had active service on it, and this is not me, this did not happen to me, but it happened to me adjacent, and like yeah, like you can't just take a cell phone and like have it activated on a different network without going through a bunch of bullshit or paying like $100+ to have your cell phone unlocked. It just seems like, and that also, I get really frustrated because now you get like iPhones or like devices, you can, like they're made to where if you fix them, like you can't have like anything repaired with that and it still be like, you know, like usable. You know, there was that whole thing not that long ago where like if you like you can't take your iPhone to a shop to have it fixed if it breaks, but it's like once we buy these devices, shouldn't we be able to like use them and utilize them in whatever way we want? It's like, just because I bought it like, you know, with the idea of a certain service provider linked to it, now I don't like that service provider anymore. I have a perfectly good working cell phone, and you can't just like take it to another service provider and have it activated without having to jump through all these hoops. And yeah, that's, I mean, like I said, that was not my personal situation today, but it happened close to me, and it really, really has pissed me off all day.
2 minutes. Good God. Right on. Perfect. Damn.
I do.
Time.
Damn. That was pretty good.
fast.
All right,
Thank
Becca
you.
Fairley,
I did
you
not-
ready? Tee it up.
I don't have anything though. I
Bullshit.
can bitch about the hurricane, but you know.
I find it hard to believe Becca doesn't have something like COVID and/or school system related.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got something.
There you go. Good job, Ash.
All right. Horseshack.
Okay.
Go for it.
So my kid was at home in quarantine for 10 days from school. We get hit with the hurricane. School closes Monday and Tuesday. They go back Wednesday. So Wednesday, she starts going tutoring in the morning before school and after school because she has essentially 2 weeks worth of work to catch up on. So I get an email today from her digital arts teacher letting me know that she is failing her class due to lack of turning in assignments.
Like this teacher didn't know she wasn't at school.
She's been in her tutoring every day since Wednesday, so 3 days, doing tutoring for her class. I even talked to her today and asked how she was doing and if she was catching up and when does she believe that she'll be on the same course as the rest of the students, because this is a high school class in junior high. So she was like, oh yeah, she's right. In line, she should be caught up by next week. She's a bright student. And then I get this shitty fucking email talking about how my kid has a lack of, I guess, will to turn in her assignments, and she is now failing her fucking class. And I just read it and I was like, bitch, really? So I responded. I said, I just talked to you in the parking lot today. Do you even know who the fuck you are emailing right now? Is this an automatic generated email by your system? Because she is failing the class. So I don't know if the system just sent out a shitty email. She responds with, I don't believe we've spoken.
Oh my God.
I was like,
teachers are retarded.
Yeah, I said, I am the short redheaded chick in the big blue truck that you were talking to in the parking lot not even an hour ago. And she responds like, oh yeah, my bad. And that was it.
That was her response.
That was her response.
Professional. Oh my God.
Aren't you so glad that you leave your kids' education and future in the hands of people that are so attentive and so, they care so much?
They're heroes.
I could listen to BECCA talk about like her school system and
man. She is.
I'll never send my fucking kids to public school.
Heroes.
God.
All right.
Well, I would teach my kids if I could. I just can't.
Heroes.
I don't have the patience, but I definitely have the patience to attack teachers.
Heroes.
And making their life hell.
No, BECCA, you have the balls to attack teachers.
I try.
I'm telling you, you really don't need to have that much patience. You just need to implement more beatings.
Tiger mom at work, man. Yeah.
My kids are awesome. They don't ever need beatings.
Yeah, but like if they're not getting the math problems right, hit them. They'll get it right eventually.
No.
Just give one to the temple.
You have learned to stop the pain. La little grasshopper. You have learned to stop the pain.
I taught my kids how to do math the right way. They don't know how to do the Common Core stuff.
Yeah,
teachers
man.
try to teach them.
Common Core is
and they're
garbage.
like, they point out to the teacher, there's a faster way to get to the answer. And then it's like they're teaching them the old school way. And the teachers get so pissed.
Yeah, it's because they're not falling into the fucking racist communist fucking agenda.
This isn't the problem though, is that this is just a step down in education. This is not uncommon to education.
Right.
I did this thing in the 5th grade called Kids in College where we got to go sit.
All right, you want to go? All right, Bubonic, since you're next in line.
You're next.
2 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, I'm going to bitch on the education system because, when I was a kid, we had this thing called Kids in College, and I was in the 5th grade learning computer programming and algebra and shit like that. And I actually got thrown out of my 6th grade algebra class because I could write the answers faster than I could do the board work. So I just go out and write the fucking answers. And then it turned out I was one of those guys who could do like vector calculus in their fucking head and matrix analyses and if you know what partial differential equations are, bullshit like that.
Yeah, totally.
Our education is set up to punish people before it praises them for being exceptional at anything, for being better than the teacher at something, for being, it just does. It's not a system of education. It's a system of really just kind of like training. And there's a difference. There's a definite difference between the two. Well, I mean, just even beyond that, indoctrination has more to do with like, we're talking about personality, structuring, and point of view. But I even mean just like how you come about of cognitively understanding things. And so, that whole idea that with this whole Common Core shit is just a whole dumbing down process. Like you cannot do any calculus by Common Core standards.
Yeah,
you
it's the
can't.
same shit that fucking Yuri threw at us, dude. It's fucking
Yeah.
telling us the degradation of our school systems.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, okay, so the original school system was set up by the Prussians to create good or malleable citizens that would work in factories. This isn't a system that was meant to actually educate. It is literally meant to
as the
subjugate.
modern school system is, but Charlemagne's really credited with creating the first like school system, and that's really his great contribution to civilization in itself.
Why is this smart motherfucker
No, I
in
was
here with
talk-
us?
because
Pretending I'm
who's
learning.
awesome.
Aw.
Well,
Yeah.
it's I'm talking about the modern school
What
system
am I
we use
smoking?
with regulation and stuff. It was done in the
Oh my
20s.
god, this tastes so good.
Sorry.
So yeah,
Just
I
what am
can't
I
really
smoking?
hate on anybody because I had really great shit happen to me this week. Like I lost my wallet at the gas station. I spent 4 miles because I walked to the gas station. I get home and I lost it, and so I ended up spending 4 miles walking around like every block because I got just like high and retarded and couldn't remember which way I went. And it turns out that someone dropped the wallet off at my mom's house because that's what like my permanent address is still for my driver's license from back when I was
that's
in
dope.
college. And yeah. Then I had someone else do something really nice for me, but like everything's going fucked up on the back end. So it's like I'm really mad at this one company, but it's hard because like I got someone doing really nice for me, and I'm like, oh, I can't really like I don't want to be as mad as I can, but you know I don't want to like displace that or anything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna rail on the education system instead.
Indeed.
2 minutes is up. Ding.
Thank you, sir. All right, Miss Shigon, are you ready?
I don't
Go.
really have.
Oh, come
like,
on.
Hate, but okay.
Shigon says that every week. I don't
She
know.
does.
I had like an amazing day. I can go though.
Hey, Shigon, you should talk about how like if they make you enforce COVID mask and stuff.
Tell them.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving everybody their hate tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, you know, it's kind of
Inspired
like
the hate.
we've got some repetitive shit going on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's not going away. Keep going.
Yeah.
All right, go. All right, Shigon, go. Start.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I used to enforce that shit, but I'm not gonna do that. There's no way I'm gonna do that again. If they make me enforce any kind of mask mandate or anything like that, no, fuck that. Not doing it. Not doing it. Someone else can do it.
Good.
But you know what? I mean, I'm gonna go on like leave soon anyway, so maybe it won't. I won't be around.
Hopefully, by the
for
time
any
you
of
get
that
back, like things will be less masky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
totally.
really hope so. But like, I had like a really good day actually. Like, I was doing like a follow-up health inspection at a Chinese place, and like one of the employees just like went and washed his hands right in front of me without me asking, and he did it properly. It like made my day. Like somebody washing their hands. I'm like,
Shigon is so cute. I love her.
is that sad? That's like,
Shigon is a person of simple pleasures.
You sound like a mom.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
sound
he
like a
washed his
mom.
hands perfectly for me.
oh my god, I know.
Oh,
I
how
like gave him
sweet.
like he like barely
girls
spoke
are
any
way
English.
dirtier than boys.
That's awesome, man.
Oh my god, girls are so much dirtier than boys.
I gave him.
And it sucks.
Who is
They are
what is that?
What is that noise?
Trippy, what are you
Trippy.
doing, dog?
Stop it!
What the fuck?
God.
Where'd he go?
Oh my
He
god.
disappeared
Well.
entirely.
All right, well,
but yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
gave him some like positive, reinforcement, some like thumbs up, and if I could complain, like, what?
And he was like, "Okay."
He still spoke Chinese, I think. I don't think.
Oh
he
damn it!
spoke,
I
like,
missed the
hardly
fucking to the Chinese restaurant.
any.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're right. He was like, oh my god.
Trippy, you
Trippy.
There we go.
Okay, if I could complain about anything,
I'm
my
sorry.
fingers are like all puffy and they hurt like constantly. So I'll complain
Sorry.
about that. But that's all I got.
Somehow my OBS was piping that in, and I opened up OBS.
Piping
it in. Okay.
Yeah, it was like pushing through something. I don't even know. I gotta fix that because
Push it real good.
I don't know how it happened, Virgie.
I'm sorry.
Why are you
So
opening OBS?
Because I was working on my background.
Oh,
and
good boy, working hard, man. There you go.
Now I gotta make sure I close that so that it doesn't happen again while we're live. But that is YouTube music. That's
right.
It doesn't matter. It was so blasted out and fucking bumfuck quality that
was
honestly,
loud.
if anything, it was going to make our ears bleed long before it's going to get a copyright strike.
Indeed.
Well, I'm glad I didn't perform the music.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't. You know, it was.
It wasn't loud. It was just rather
overdriven.
ear-splitting.
It was overdriven. Yes.
Well, now you know what I hear when stuff. Wait, it sounds like you guys were hearing it in like a way worse version than I.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, we were.
I'm sorry,
dude. I was listening to
sound like it's
Double
It's
Dog.
okay, but I think I have a 2 minutes of hate now, Trippy.
I gotta figure out how to fix it. So
Well,
after
Trippy,
we're
what about?
done-
All right. So, don't you have a? Do you have a 2 minutes of hate?
Nope.
Well, I'll be damned.
You
Good
do.
deal.
You have
All right. Well,
Well,
Virgie,
I wanted to say something real quick.
go.
Just,
Please.
We don't. Well, we don't have like a mask mandate here right now. I was just saying, like, if it happens again, yeah. But like, I'm supposed to wear a mask when I do my health inspections, and if I go into a place and they don't like have a sign on the door, I'm just not doing it, even though I'm supposed to. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm like, if anything, like they should see their health inspector. Go like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. I'm done.
Yeah, my husband and I are not complying with the mask mandate this time around, and nobody's stopping us from shopping.
Yeah.
Of course, my husband's so scary, nobody's going to stop him from shopping anyway.
I think that oversaturation is where we're at with all this shit. As I think people, I even think maskies and shit are starting to like see how, you know, it's like, well, hold on, you know, this wasn't supposed to last this long. It was 2 weeks, and you know, and then we always get this conflicting shit always. You know, so you do one thing this week and the exact opposite next week, and it's, you know, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. I hope they're getting mad because it makes the swears come out of me.
I got mad. They were like, we're losing patience with you. You must get shot. And then Joe Biden gives you the shot himself. It's crazy.
It's like Shagon. Every time I think Shagon is about as cute as she can get, she does it. She gets cuter.
I know.
With that quote you just said, that was funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
She's blushy.
Like it. We like it. Man, it's a good combo. I like this blend of people. Yes, sir.
Oh, Shagon's turning red.
No.
Aw.
It's getting really gay in here, guys.
Put that
I know,
dick
everything should
down
join.
now.
Oh,
Sorry, well played, sir.
Tips $5 for the laws. Thank you, Ricerella.
God damn, that was good, Trippy. Fuck.
You don't know me,
I'm
bro.
gonna laugh about that tomorrow.
tomorrow. He's like, when I'm good and high.
Well, I
think about last night and how stupid it was.
Do I try to remember where all my
my pussy when I'm done with her.
Oh, damn.
I can't read.
I made that as an IRL reference to my husband, and he busted out laughing because he got it.
Nice.
Indeed. All right. Finally, Virgie, you want to do your 2 minutes?
Oh, no. Well, I don't have anything to really hate other than Trippypoop. What he won me back over by calling me a queer. Really, man, just, I don't know. I exist in a state where I just really don't fucking care about anything anymore. It's pretty great. You guys should try it. Just take
Welcome
a
to
step back
Generation X.
and stop fucking caring.
Yeah,
Stop. Just, it doesn't matter. Yeah, man.
Stop it. Get some help.
Stop caring. Like, even if you end up homeless, you can just do some heroin. It'll be all right.
Stop it. Get some help.
You know,
Kind of a
welcome
requirement, right?
to Generation X, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Generation X is the generation that pretends like they don't give a shit about everything, but they give a shit about anything, but they literally give a shit about everything.
Everything.
So you're
Oh
back
my
on
God.
Generation X?
Gen
really
X
don't give a shit.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of feeling some kind of way about that shit.
I'm sorry. If I had $1 for every time somebody from Gen X has tried to convince me that Gen X doesn't care about anything, I'd be a fucking millionaire.
Yeah,
I'd be able to fund an independent death squad to wipe out Gen Z and the millennials, and we'd be able to sort the shit out.
But what I'm saying is it Gen Z sort of a direct representation of just kind of how retardedly apathetic we've gotten?
Right?
I wouldn't say that Gen Z is apathetic. No,
they're emotional basket cases because their parents are trying to teach them to be apathetic without being apathetic.
I wouldn't agree with that at all.
Okay.
I don't agree that I don't see that. If anything, I see Gen Z being fucked up because their parents are fucking
commies.
This is such a deep topic. This is such a deep topic that we could get into here. Like the generations raising the generations, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it really has to do with where you are. And I think it has to do with whether that's an urban center and whether it's a coastal region that has really stupid, unaccountable legislation. I think once you get to the Midwest and the South and places like Texas and New Mexico, everything changes because personal accountability is still on the docket.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And it's a completely different world.
Indeed.
Well, I can agree with that, but I don't agree that they're apathetic. I think that they care a lot about a lot of things. The problem is that they give a shit about vapid fucking nonsense.
Do you think, all right, let me ask you this, Virgie. Do you think we should embrace our nature and just acknowledge that we're violent beings?
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
One of the biggest problems with society today is that we just don't accept the state of human nature, and people don't take human nature into account or don't really understand it.
Yeah,
exactly.
They don't really understand
socialism, especially Marx.
Yeah, no, socialism. The only way that you can come to the position that Marx did is if you're the type of dude that fucking never bathes and stinks like shit and bums all kinds of money off of all your family to the point where nobody wants anything to fucking do with you, and you have no social skills and you have no connection to any fucking human being outside of your stupid little fucking intellectual circle, that's pretty much the only way you come to, Marxism as an original thought.
You have to deny
shit like Marx.
You have to deny natural law. You have to deny natural law. The natural law of humanity is that it is cooperative. It is not collective. It is cooperative. You cannot force people to do things for very long. You have to convince us and make us want to do it. And that is the nature of being human.
Yeah, but Monkey A is always going to club Monkey B over the head for his pussy or his food. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's human nature. I mean, that's what we are. It's like getting black pilled over here,
Well, I mean, let's put it this way.
There are physical consequences for certain shit that you do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Period.
And it's all Virgie's fault.
It's all Virgie's fault, man.
My fault,
it is.
I did 9/11, you guys.
You did.
He did 9/11. He helped me figure out how to make the coup happen.
He's responsible. I was going to say,
Virgie's la 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 is superior to everybody else's la la.
Oh yeah,
la,
brother. I'm getting my 72 versions. I'm telling you. It's just at this point with the way that the world is, they might be like all fucking weird little trannies and shit. Or fucking.
Yeah, they don't say what kind of virgins. Like you're gonna end up with a bunch of incels.
I don't know, man. Maybe I could fucking. Hey, dude. I've seen some incels put in some work at the old kill-death ratio. I'm pretty sure with a room full of incels and some proper training and direction, you could get some shit done.
Yeah.
Wow, it got real quiet.
Well,
it
was like
shootings. I guess the room really dies down.
Well, so we're in the TV room now. We're in the TV room now. All right, so it's time to get. It's time to roll the red pill and black pill dice. There's some shit that happened this week. I mean, there was like a bunch of shit that happened this week, but there's only a couple of things that I want to focus on tonight. But I got the Tucker thing ready to roll here, and it's about a little 15-minute roll here, and then there's a little addendum that I had to make because some shit came out tonight. But and then I'll stop it and we'll talk about this shit because it's huge in my opinion. All right, here we go.
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is a danger to the country. That was not totally surprising. We already knew he was a reckless nut.
What?
A fair warning, I know almost nothing going on this week because I've been so busy on the phone all week.
All right, try to delay your reaction.
So I'm gonna mute.
All right, I hear you because you will want to throw shit, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna just throw shit to a muted mic.
Yes, yes, I believe that.
That's pretty.
Yeah, if anybody could.
All right, fam. All right, so yeah.
Yesterday, we learned that Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is a danger to the country. That was not totally surprising. We already knew he was a reckless nutcase. In June, in the middle of a televised congressional hearing, Milley leveled a racial attack against more than half of this country. Milley told Congress that something called white rage was a national crisis. He never proved it or even defined the term, and yet still he kept his job, which says as much about Congress as it does about him. Then in July, we learned that Milley had suggested the U.S. military was willing to use violence against Donald Trump, who was then the sitting president. We're the guys with guns, he told fellow officers. Still, Congress did nothing. Now, thanks to a new book by Bob Woodward and Bob Costa, we've learned that Milley secretly collaborated with our greatest military rival, the government of China. On October 30th last year, according to the book, Milley called his counterpart in China, a Chinese general. He did not tell his boss about the call, either before he made it or after. Here was Milley's message for the Chinese military. We are not going to attack or conduct any kinetic operations against you. General Lee, you and I have known each other for 5 years. If we're going to attack, I'm going to call you ahead of time. It's not going to be a surprise. It's hard to believe that conversation actually took place, but apparently it did. More than 24 hours after it was reported, Mark Milley has not denied it. Instead, his spokesman released a statement today confirming that Milley does regularly speak to Chinese military officials, but claiming that those calls are authorized by civilian leaders at the Pentagon. But that turns out to be a lie. Just hours ago, the former Secretary of Defense, Christopher Miller, told Fox News he has no idea what Mark Milley is talking about. Quote, as Secretary of Defense, I did not and would not ever authorize such conduct. As Miller put it, quote, a lesser-ranking officer accused of such behavior would immediately be relieved of duty. But Mark Milley has not been relieved of duty, and apparently he won't be. Today, Joe Biden endorsed him and the job he's doing.
Sir, did General Milley do the right thing, sir?
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you.
General Milley do the right thing?
I have great confidence in General Milley.
So for secretly revealing American military strategy to the Chinese government, for threatening violence against a sitting American president, Mark Milley is not going to be punished. Are you surprised by this? Maybe you shouldn't be. In Washington, this is normal. Colluding with the Chinese government is not considered a sin. It's not even weird. Watch this video of Milley from 2015 as he explains that China somehow is not a threat to us.
Is Russia a greater threat to the U.S. than ISIS right now?
I said in testimony that I considered Russia the number one threat to the United States. Russia is the only country on earth that has the capability to destroy the United States of America. It's an existential threat by definition.
The 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back because the Cold War's been over for 20 years. But, Governor, when it comes to our foreign policy, you seem to want to import the foreign policies of the 1980s.
China's not an enemy. They are going to develop themselves and are developing themselves into a great power. That is not to say, however, that they're an enemy, and it is not to imply nor say that conflict with China is inevitable.
So Milley thinks China's winning, and so he's sucking up to his new master. So he tells us, quote, Russia is the only country on earth that has the capacity to destroy the United States. That's absurd. Nobody believes that. The Chinese military is far, far more powerful than anything Vladimir Putin controls. It's not even close. Milley knows that. He's lying about it. And that should make you very nervous. Why is he lying about that? No one in Congress seems to care at all. People with oversight seem to be on his side. This morning, Tom Cotton, the Republican senator from Arkansas, came on Fox and Friends to talk about Mark Milley. Here's part of that conversation.
This book raises some serious concerns. I have to say some of the allegations seem somewhat far-fetched to me. But General Milley and Secretary Austin are going to be testifying in front of Congress in just a few days, and we'll address these concerns. We don't want to jump in conclusions yet. I know he will address it, and we'll ensure that he addresses it. But this is one of those claims, obviously, that seems a little far-fetched, the idea that an American military general is going to warn an adversary if an attack is coming. As you say, when Donald Trump was never even thinking about a military attack against China, the whole thing is pretty far-fetched.
What, Virgie?
I was saying it. The video's audio's coming through your mic a little bit.
Oh, my bad.
So I'm just telling you because it's not really that bad on our end, but I don't know how they're hearing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not loading. I can't. It's like not letting me pull up your live.
Well, that's because you have shitty internet.
No, not really.
I'm just giving you shit, Ash.
Like, I never have a problem with it.
It's because Discord updated recently, and there's always like fuck ups when they first update.
Oh, that's annoying.
Oh, we don't want to jump to conclusions yet. Really? What conclusions? At the time that interview took place, this morning, it had already been conclusively established that Mark Milley was pushing open racism on the United States military, that he had bragged to fellow officers about resisting the American president, quote, with guns, and that he had told military officials that he, not the president, controlled our country's nuclear arsenal. So how much more evidence do you need exactly? And why does no one in Washington consider this a crisis? The leadership of the Pentagon, some of them anyway, constitute a threat to the United States.
Now turning to a bombshell revelation, Donald Trump insisted people inside his administration were working to undermine his presidency, and it turns out he was right. As a new book from Bob Woodward and Robert Acosta reveals, the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, Mark Milley, sought to undermine Trump while he served as commander-in-chief. Milley had at least 2 phone calls with his counterpart in the Chinese government, where he looked to reassure the communist nation that the U.S. wouldn't be launching an attack. Calls are already growing for Milley to be fired over these offenses. And if true, he has a lot to answer for it in 2 weeks when he testifies before Congress. Let's bring in former White House Press Secretary and co-host of Outnumbered, Kayleigh McEnany. Kayleigh, I definitely wanted you to be on the program to answer this because you were in the administration. Did y'all suspect this was going on?
No, I mean, look, it was eye-opening when we walked to the church. I was with President Trump, St. John's Church. We all remember what it burned in that riot. I walked with General Milley. I walked with President Trump to that church. General Milley was there. He happily obliged in that movement. And then the day after apologized and said that he shouldn't have done it. So certainly that was eye-opening. But Lawrence, you know, I got to say this. My jaw dropped open today when I saw this reporting. I hope it's not true. And I say I hope it's not true because I don't trust the reporting of Bob Woodward. Unlike most journalists, liberal journalists who just buy it hook, line, and sinker, I don't. I question it. But if this is true, Lawrence, if this is true, that in the very Oval Office I was sitting in, that General Milley was talking to the Commander-in-Chief, President Trump, and outside of those meetings was back channeling to China saying, I'll let you know if there's ever an attack on you. I'm paraphrasing there. If that was happening, that is aiding and abetting the enemy. There's a word we have for that. I won't say it because I don't want to get there yet because I don't trust the reporting of Bob Woodward, but that is simply stunning in every sense of the word.
Well, Kayleigh, we know leaks were happening. And Obama during his administration, when he had leaks, he went after his leakers. We still don't know who the leakers were. Actually, we know one of them, Vindman, who has already said, and we got a tweet from him, that Milley needs to resign.
Yeah, exactly. Because civilians control the military, the civilian commander-in-chief, not the military general who's not only back channeling to China, but also saying, you know, buck the orders if there was ever an order on the nuclear front. You know, buck those orders is essentially what he was saying. And Lawrence, I have to ask, the guy who says that he should have been leading the way, he's the right one on foreign policy, on national security. Well, I do have this reporting that I talked to a very high-level intelligence official who told me this. He said he sat in the Oval. I was not in this meeting, but he was asked by President Trump, how long would it take for Afghanistan to fall if there was not an interim government in place, a coalition government? That high-level intelligence official said very quickly, Mr. President, to which President Trump responded, it would fall in 2 days. He said this in front of General Milley, who then went on to the Biden administration to orchestrate the devastating fall of Afghanistan where 13 service members died. I trust the guy who said Afghanistan's going to fall in 2 days, not the guy who sat in the meeting and failed to communicate that information to the next commander-in-chief who then oversaw the fall of Afghanistan and the devastating images we all saw.
Not just that, Kayleigh. As you've noted before, this is the guy that made the call just the other day where they may have gotten the wrong guy and they targeted civilians. This is the Joint Chief guy that is all-knowing.
That guy talked way too ghetto.
Yeah, it's the guy who called it a righteous strike. A righteous strike, which keep in mind, President Biden, this is his administration, the righteous strike that killed a humanitarian aid worker, if the New York Times reporting is true, and 7 children. And the guy was carrying water bottles, but yet they target him as if he's an ISIS-K member. We've got more to the story to come out. We've got to make sure that New York Times reporting is true. But you're exactly right. He green-lighted the righteous strike that ended in the death of 7 children.
You know, Kayleigh, I'm no rocket scientist, but I believe my eyes. All I can say is I know there's a difference from the Milley and the Trump administration, and then when they walked over to the church to now. It seems like there's been a little flip-flopping going on with Milley. Am I missing something?
No, it certainly does. And Lawrence, I learned this the hard way. You know, we hear about the deep state and, you know, the folks over at Liberal News Network say it doesn't exist. It does exist, Lawrence. I communicated with the deep state in the hallways. And I can tell you the people who are very nice to your face, the Dr. Anthony Fauci's, General Milley, and then you find out in the aftermath that they've totally flipped the other way. They've existed in Washington in the case of Dr. Fauci for decades, making wrong decisions for the American people, you know, on Fauci's part, saying masks work, they don't work, you know, trying to save masks for our healthcare workers, but lying to the American people. They're nice to your face. They're part of the deep state, but they're undermining the commander-in-chief along the way, if it's a Republican commander-in-chief, as they did to President Trump.
Undermining the president of the United States to get the adults back in the room that have completely messed this entire situation up. I guess elections do have a consequence.
The great one, Mark Levin, also Life, Liberty, Levin. Mark, I'll let you take it from here on General Milley.
Well, we're experiencing American Marxism, aren't we? A couple of things here, Sean. Number one, Woodward and Costa are reporters for the Washington Post. Takes 2.5 to 3 months to print a book. That means Woodward and Costa in the Washington Post, if this is true, sat on this story for months and months. Why would two reporters sit on a story like this for months and months and allow this man, who I believe, if this is true, is utterly unhinged, to serve as the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff? You have two so-called journalists who sat on this for 2 or 3 months. A news story. They're journalists. I'm not. Why would they do something like that? You know why, Sean? This is what Woodward does. They drop this before the Sunday, before his books are released. They get everybody worked up and stirred up. Maybe they should be, maybe they shouldn't. He'll be on all the Sunday shows. So he and Costa, two so-called reporters, can make millions of dollars off this book. And what does this book do? It's certainly in the front end. It attempts to trash President Trump. Let's take a look very briefly at this. So people should boycott this book. People should not reward these people at all for their conduct as so-called journalists.
Buying what he's selling, picking up what he's putting down.
All right, here's what I think, okay, about what's happening here. The deal about China, okay, and the deal that the Bob Woodward, I think that they deliberately dropped this to deflect from the shit. There's more stuff about Afghanistan that's fixing to come up. But there was Anthony Blinken. I've got like 9 hours of testimony from that dude from this week. I mean, I swear to God, and it's like I couldn't cut it up because it was just like I got so pissed off, man. Every time the dude opened his mouth, he looks like a fucking deer in the headlights, like something like, you know, it's like, I don't know. Why are you asking me this shit? You know, it's like,
why am I here?
Exactly, man. You know, like you don't know what you did, you dumb fuck. So let's, I'll go ahead and, you know what, let's go ahead and get to I'm going to pop the other thing in here.
That's what she said.
All right. And we'll roll with this.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight.
Listen to
As
this.
American forces were pulling out of Afghanistan this summer, Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, announced a new and highly innovative intelligence partnership. The Pentagon, Milley explained, would begin sharing classified information with the Taliban. Yes, the Taliban, the bearded religious extremists in man pajamas that for 20 years we've been told pose
China and the Taliban
a major threat to us in the United States. But no longer, they're our partners now. The Biden administration, Milley explained, was even open to coordinating with the Taliban on counter-terrorism strikes against our new enemy, a shadowy group that may or may not actually exist, called ISIS-K.
We don't know what the future of the Taliban is, but I can tell you from personal experience
I'm from the future.
that this is a
They're
ruthless
going to
group
own
from the past,
Afghanistan.
and whether or not they change remains to be seen. And as far as our dealings with them at that airfield or in the past year or so, in war, you do what you must in order to reduce risk to mission and force, not what you necessarily want to do.
Any possibility of coordination against ISIS-K with them?
It's possible.
Oh my God.
Because when you're fighting ISIS-K, no holds are barred. So the first of Milley's coordinated attacks against ISIS-K arrived 3 weeks ago. It was August 29th. That was just days after 13 American servicemen were killed in a bombing at the Kabul airport, a date you remember well. At the time, even Democrats were pointing out the obvious: Joe Biden is senile and totally incompetent. So the administration at that moment desperately needed something to prove they are not senile and incompetent. They are instead decisive and strong. And what better way to do that than to kill people? So that day, the U.S. military bombed a white Toyota in a residential complex not far from the Kabul airport. The White House touted that strike as a demonstration of our over-the-horizon military capabilities in Afghanistan, particularly against ISIS-K. And Mark Milley, who's pretty young to be senile, but often seems like it, strongly agreed this was a good thing.
But at this point, we think that the procedures were correctly followed, and it was a righteous strike.
When we say good thing, we meant righteous. That was a righteous strike. And everyone in Washington agreed. One unnamed U.S. defense official described the attack to our Jennifer Griffin this way, quote, multiple suicide bombers inside the vehicle struck by U.S. drone today in Kabul. Significant explosives in the vehicle led to secondary explosions. Bombers belonged to ISIS-K, and they were en route to Kabul airport, end quote. So it's perfect. All the bad people were dead. All those ISIS-K operatives. And virtually every news organization in the country parroted this account. They were grateful to give poor old Joe Biden credit for something.
Lies from the deep state.
The Washington Post assigned 5 reporters to the story. They dug deep. They concluded that Biden's drone attack had hit, quote, an Islamic State target. On television, where there's mostly no reporting at all, they just read the paper and repeat it, not a single person seemed very skeptical of this.
Our ability to demonstrate effectively that we can strike such targets once the intelligence chews them up. We can strike them from outside Afghan borders, which is a critical element of the Biden plan once we withdraw. So this over-the-horizon capability was demonstrated. I thought it was effective.
You call this strike remarkable.
This is a realization of what President Biden calls the over-the-horizon strategy. The military event today is so much more than just a single drone strike. It is a projection of power. It is a message from the United States government that even though we're leaving, we're not done with counterterrorism operations. Even though we're going to have to do this, as they say, over the horizon from remote locations, and it's going to be far more challenging, we can still do it.
So keep in mind, every single one of the people you just saw speaking knew nothing, literally nothing about this drone strike other than what they read on Twitter. They were totally ignorant. And that did not prevent them, as it never does, from trying to sound totally authoritative. That's our news coverage. Soon, however, a few people started to ask the obvious questions. For example, who exactly had the U.S. military killed? When asked, the Defense Department wouldn't say. Oh, that might have been a tip. DoD also would show no proof of those secondary explosions, the explosions that proved the vehicle was being driven by ISIS-K suicide bombers. Instead, Mark Milley just assured the country that those secondary explosions were real, they happened, we know, and the rest of us need to take his word for it. And that was exactly the line from the Pentagon's top flack, known liar, John Kirby.
Two quick questions, if I may. On the strike against the vehicle,
that dude fucks kids.
Do the Central Command talked about secondary explosions, I think, in that, but do you actually have visual evidence that there were secondary explosions? Are you convinced that there were? Because
he literally is wringing his hands.
That seems to be one of the potential contributing factors to civilian casualties. So are you certain there were secondary explosions?
Yes.
I just have a follow-up on a different part of this. Can you say how you're sure?
No.
Ooh,
you're going to go out there and they're going to ask you two questions, and you're
Are you
just
sure
gonna
there were
say
secondary
yes
explosions?
and no.
Yes.
Because all
How
of
do you
this
know
is
for sure?
already planned.
I'm not going to tell you. And he never did. Neither John Kirby nor anyone else at the Pentagon ever corrected that story. But the New York Times did, to their rare credit. More than a week ago, the New York Times ran a piece revealing with video evidence that the Biden administration's drones did not actually kill anyone from ISIS-K, whoever they are, assuming they exist. The drone killed a civilian aid worker in a car full of kids. There were no bombs in the Toyota. They had bottles of water, which are very different from bombs in that they don't explode, even secondarily. Finally, this afternoon, the Biden administration was forced to stop lying. So here's General Kenneth McKenzie, the head of U.S. Central Command.
I'm here to brief the results of the investigation I directed following the report of civilian casualties from the strike in Kabul on 29 August. Having thoroughly reviewed the findings of the investigation and the supporting analysis by interagency partners, I am now convinced
Yeah, they're going to make the Marine jump on his sword. This dude's going to take the hit for this shit. Listen to this shit, man.
He should take the hit for it just because of that fucking hair on his head.
Wait a minute. This is the Marine? So why the hell is he taking the hit for this shit?
Because of that fucking hair.
Because they told him to.
Yeah.
Kabul
That's
on
like
29
classic field officer hair right there.
Yeah, check it out.
Having thoroughly reviewed the findings of the investigation and the supporting analysis by interagency partners, I am now
You think
convinced
he's
that as
naturally
many as
that
10
blonde?
civilians, including up to 7 children, were tragically killed in that strike.
No,
Moreover,
he's
we now
just really
assess that it is
stressed out about his whole
unlikely
fucking
that the vehicle
career
and those who
being over.
died were associated with ISIS-K or were a direct threat to U.S. forces. I offer my profound condolences to the family and friends of those who were killed. This strike was taken in the earnest belief that it would prevent an imminent threat to our forces and the evacuees at the airport.
What do you think? What do you think the chances are that those were Americans that were killed?
High.
All right, because it took 2 weeks for this shit to come out. All right.
I don't think they were Americans. I think they were part of some sort of American
well, hold on. All right.
Western group, because like all the women were uncovered and the children looked normal.
So first, they try the misdirection thing with the whole fucking, the whole story about the Chinese and Millie talking to the Chinese from the book. So it's like they were trying to take the heat off of this because the story broke Sundays, they said, man, and there was a big, huge jack off over here.
Okay,
right?
It did not break Sunday though, because we've all been hearing this since the day of the bombing.
Yeah.
Of the drone bomb.
Well, those of us who
about this in Pakistan.
Yeah. We of course. If you read actual news articles and shit, and don't get your news from
I read saying it dropped on mainstream media Sunday.
Big media, exactly. That's what I meant. Yep.
That was a mistake, and I offer my sincere apology. As the combatant commander, I am fully responsible for this strike and this tragic outcome. While I've begun with the most important findings of our investigation, I do want to provide the background leading up to the strike and include an explanation as to why we felt reasonably certain that this was a legitimate strike on an imminent ISIS-K threat, with no indication that the strike would result in civilian casualties.
I literally
as we
don't
asserted
believe that
in our
ISIS-K
initial
exists at this point.
The strike on 29 August must be considered
Show
in
me
the
a picture
context
of an ISIS-K member. What is their flag?
Well, okay, come on.
Whoa. I told y'all to wait, y'all. Let's hold out.
Come on, man. Come on. Everyone knows the CIA exists.
All right, yeah, you got a point there.
All right.
The situation on the ground in Kabul at Hamid Karzai International Airport following the ISIS-K attack that resulted in the deaths of 13 soldiers, sailors, and Marines, and more than 100 civilians at Abbey Gate on 26 August. And also with a substantial body of intelligence indicating the imminence of another attack.
Okay. After consulting with our interagency partners, all of whom get the New York Times delivered at home, we were admitting that we lied to you for weeks about what we actually did. It was not ISIS-K, there were no suicide bombers, there were no secondary explosions, it was kids and water bottles. In his remarks today, most tellingly, General McKenzie declined to announce any consequences for this, either for the killing of children or for the lying about it for weeks. Now, why is that? We think we know. Back on September 1st, Mark Milley explained that the drone strike of August 29th wasn't out of the ordinary. In fact, it followed the very same procedures as every other drone strike over the last 20 years in Afghanistan.
We had very good intelligence that ISIS-K was preparing a specific type vehicle at a specific type location. We monitored that through various means, and all of the engagement criteria were being met. We went through the same level of rigor that we've done for years, and we took a strike.
Right now.
Oh, we had very good intelligence. Look at the same kind of intelligence that led us to believe that German-educated Saudis would never fly airplanes into World Trade Centers or the Pentagon Memorial Field in Pennsylvania. The intelligence that told us the Berlin Wall wasn't about to fall. The intelligence that told us it was fine to give up Bagram Air Base because Kabul was safe. The government would stand. That intelligence. So the drone strike of August 29th that killed a car full of children underwent, and we're quoting, the same level of rigor that we have done for years. Well, that's not very reassuring, is it? But you will not find a more revealing statement about our Pentagon leaders. It explains why no one has been punished for this disaster. If you fire Mark Milley for killing a bunch of kids unintentionally and then lying about it, maybe the accountability chain will start. Maybe they want to fire whoever left hundreds of American citizens behind in Afghanistan and lied about that. So you can't start firing people just because they're terrible at their jobs, obviously. So you can't fire anyone. That's the rule.
That protest happening today in front of the CDC,
So that
the
means
group.
that wasn't military intelligence. That was other than military intelligence that they was going off of. That was a legal statement he made.
All right, so this is all right. We'll break all this shit down. This is something I tacked on. This is a short story about a bunch of Nicki Minaj fans.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, who are protesting the CDC. All right, check this shit out, and they're all like commies and shit. Look at the shirts. Check this shit out, y'all.
That protest happening today in front of the CDC, the group speaking out against Dr. Anthony Fauci and the COVID-19 vaccine, all because of rapper Nicki Minaj. This all comes from some tweets that she posted on Twitter, one of them on your screen now.
In it, she claims you had to be vaccinated to attend the Met Gala on Sunday, but she won't get the shot until she's done enough research. CBS 46's Tori Cooper explains how the CDC is responding to the
It
artists.
won't swell up.
Right now, I'm standing right between security guards and protesters crossing the street right now who say they felt called to come out here following Nicki Minaj's tweets on Twitter. They say that she has allowed them to feel that they can question the effectiveness about the vaccine and she's not sharing misinformation. However, experts I spoke to say they beg to differ. Go ahead, what brings you here?
We are here because CDC has been lying to us for so long.
Nicki Minaj fans in Atlanta say they trust her medical advice about the COVID-19 vaccine.
Nicki, the queen of rap, stood up. Nicki, multiple platinum plaques, stood up and said, I'm questioning this vaccine, and we should all question this vaccine.
Fans even showed up to the Center for Disease Control headquarters on Wednesday in Druid Hills.
He squares of football bats.
To show support for the platinum rapper's latest tweets.
This one is for the boys with the booming system, top town AC.
She claimed her cousin's friend in Trinidad had a bad reaction to the vaccine and his private part even swelled up. So CBS 46 went to fact check those claims.
Her the testicles like swell up, right, as a result of getting the vaccine.
Complaining about a burner, man.
No.
He's blue balled. He's blaming COVID for being blue balled.
I
blame his wife.
Man. All right, so let's go ahead and this is pretty much it. The whole Nicki Minaj thing. I don't know. It looked pretty sketch to me. You know, it was like 12 BLM supporters or people trying to get into BLM or some shit, you know, trying to do some, I don't know, activism.
I think it was 12 retards.
I'm sorry, but Snow the Product is such a better female rapper than fucking Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj can barely double time, and Snow the Product is just like fucking amazing. And Doja Cat could eat her lunch all day long. So, like, I don't. All
right, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, I don't get what the big deal about Minaj is. I know she does great performances, and I'm glad to see her standing up and speaking for herself and thinking for herself. But I don't know what the big deal about her music.
I've got to
never
say,
have.
I like Nicki better than
marketed.
Cardi B.
Oh,
Like,
God,
she's just
yeah.
a
I do
fucking
too.
idiot. Yeah.
Everybody sucks.
I kinda
all
like
these
Nicki
tweets
Minaj.
came
I like.
I'm gonna emulate
Nicki's
the.
okay. Cardi, no, thank you.
I'm way more into independent music, is what it is.
Well, I think modern music's garbage anyway.
I don't call
man.
any of that music.
The vast majority
Exactly.
of it.
I totally agree. Bubonic.
Everybody sucks.
Since all these tweets have come out from Nicki, the White House and Fauci has offered to do a direct telephone call with Nicki to correct.
Well, don't you remember she interviewed some people during the
Dude,
election?
I think that was fucking Godzi Kodzo. I swear to God, I thought that too.
Oh, shit!
No, it was Nicki Minaj.
No, the guy in the mask, in the protest.
Oh.
Irate. Was he wearing face paint? Because guys at Kodzo switched to this weird like face paint thing.
I don't know, man, but I swear to God, that's exactly what I thought.
I'm gonna have to see the video again.
Because he was, forming the African Communist Party or some shit like that. The African Gay Nazi Communist Party.
Okay, so what? Uganda? What?
No, Ghazi.
Or not Uganda,
Ghazi
the Congo?
Kadzo,
Right.
the YouTuber.
Are you talking about Black Hitler or whatever the fuck his name is?
I didn't mean Uganda. I meant the Congo, but.
No,
tell me you don't remember him?
GAZI KODZO.
I'd have to see a picture. Sorry,
He's that black dude that Gavin McInnes did fucking.
Yes.
Back when Gavin still had like a grain of fucking dignity left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the name of the street that I live on. When I talk to assholes, scammers and shit, I tell them I live on Ghazi Kadzo Lane in Tupelo, Mississippi and shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, keeping Ghazi alive. That was a great call, y'all. It was Ghazi, Nostradamus says. I agree.
Pan African People's Party.
Yes. Yeah, and it's a communist, knockoff.
Yeah, because communist communities totally have never gone bad in Africa.
That's why I was like the Congo, because like that's working well.
Africa has a great track record with fucking communists, Like, wasn't there that one time that super religious group went out there and some guy got him to drink some fucking Kool-Aid?
Ghazi Kodzo's part of a group now called Black Hammer. Talking about black.
Dude, Jim Jones was a charismatic dude, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, most fucking communists.
You work for
Cult
California
leaders.
Urban Housing Development.
Oh, that makes sense.
I am now very leery of charismatic people that want to lead things. Like
just now.
No,
just kidding.
As a child. Well, as an adult, I am very leery of those people because as a child, I was raised under the Reagan ideals, like Reagan's
like getting rid of
principles for
asylums
public
and
education.
fucking.
Yeah, that was a terrible idea, but I'm talking about the education system and what we learned. And Jim Jones was held up as a communist danger because it was still fairly fresh at the time because, it was the 80s.
I never got any of that shit over here.
Yeah. So for us, it was like a lesson. So like for my whole life, if I see a politician that's particularly charismatic, I watch them closer than I do every other.
You should be leery of any person at this, with the way that the state of the world is in right now. You should be very weary of any person that is okay with holding the bag right now. Anybody who's like, yeah, totally, I'll get into power. That's you should be fucking very weary of their motivations.
Yeah.
You could not pay me enough to be in charge of shit right now.
Well, that's why I put extra scrutiny on people that are super charismatic, especially if they want to be in positions of power.
Well, you don't need to worry about
you're the leader we need,
politics.
man. Because you don't want the fucking job. You're the guy we need.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Negative.
Yeah. No. The guy we don't need wants the job. Right?
You don't need to be weary about uncharismatic politicians because uncharismatic politicians don't get shit done.
Hey, that's how I'm going to get the presidential fucking thingy in 2024. I'm going to be that guy.
You just go out there with a bunch of billboards that say, fuck you, don't vote for me.
Yeah.
That's how you
I'm already like super weary.
Well, so what about your takes on the
or like, like what's your angle?
I'll watch
you
the charismatic people closer. Yeah.
So all right. So what are y'all takes on the old Millie thing?
He's faking gay. That he is faking gay.
Why is he not already in Leavenworth?
I've got a good theory, but I'll let everybody else go first.
I want to know why he's not already in Leavenworth. Like He's already done so many terrible.
My theory answers that.
Okay. I just want to know that was fucking it. I was like, yeah, I'm glad I was muted. I was like screaming, "Are you fucking serious?"
You know why? You know why he's not in Leavenworth? Why he's not shit canned already? Because Millie is the one who's in charge right now of our foreign policy. Why do you think look at the way that Afghanistan was handled. It's exactly the way that he wanted to handle Afghanistan previously and said multiple times. He's also not getting shit canned. Even if that's wrong, he's not getting shit canned because Millie was put into fucking power by the Obama administration.
Mm-hmm.
That's a black fucking mark on the Biden administration, like doubly fucking so if they have to fire him, and it makes his old goddamn boss look bad and the fucking Democratic Party because they're the motherfuckers who hired him. He's not getting shit canned.
Right,
the only way that this motherfucker gets out or even gets fucking reprimanded at this point is if we actually get somebody into office in 2024. I would not hold your breath.
Midterm.
Right, so the training.
If midterms flip to Congress, this may become relevant again.
Here's a factoid. All right, the tranny health secretary and Millie went to school together.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Military school. Whoa! Somebody just.
Are we sure that that tranny and him aren't like the result of some fucking government teleportation experiment? They accidentally split that motherfucker into two personalities.
Maybe.
And he's got like his tranny self, you know what I mean? And he's got his tranny self off in the military.
He's shouting at clouds, tips $5 and says, "Wakanda forever." America, maybe not much longer. Wakanda forever.
What?
That sounds like.
You know what's so funny about that shit, dude? I've never seen Black Panther. One thing that always makes me fucking laugh so hard when Hollywood tries to pander to like fucking African to the black ones, right? I'm not gonna call them African Americans. It's fucking retarded.
Black people.
To black people. Is they'll do this fucking thing where they'll give them like vibranium and they'll be super advanced and they have this fucking perfect society. But for some reason they still use spears.
Yeah, oh my God, I was going to say, like, wait for it. You don't get it, though.
Right?
They balanced it out. They made them spear chuckers.
It is the most racist.
And they still wear fucking loincloths, dude.
It's like, holy fuck,
you guys are missing something else too, because Virgie, you said you didn't see it.
No, I haven't watched it.
Every fucking time that they go to Wakanda in the movie, it's do 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 do. And when they go to the city,
they play it on like a K-On.
Dude, when they go to the city, it's hip hop. But when they go to Wakanda, it's fucking drums.
Gotcha.
Okay, there is a old Chappelle Show sketch with like John Mayer in it, but they're talking about like, like when black people hear drums and like when Hispanic people hear horns, and then when like white dudes hear guitar, like that's like what gets them.
Oh yeah, that's
like
Dave Chappelle.
Yes, I just said it was the old Chappelle Show sketch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I don't know, like I mean, and I don't say this, but like like things like that exist for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
You want to hear
it's not
something weird?
untrue.
Or
It's
something
like
that's,
if they want to break the mold, they're not doing a very good job. You know.
My girls were very angry at the Black Panther movie because their introduction to the Black Panther was in the Civil War movie with Ant-Man and all them. That was the introduction of Black Panther, and he looked really badass and cool as shit. Well, in the Black Panther movie, he's this wishy-washy emotional basket case.
He was dying of colon cancer, though.
Hey.
No, I'm talking about the character.
It was
I'm
butthurt.
talking about the character.
I know.
he
I'm
was
teasing.
really-
I'm
just
being
kidding, by
funny.
the way.
Yeah.
you guys want to hear something funny too?
My kids were pissed at the movie.
In that What
Yeah.
If TV show, there's an episode where they have like, what if the Black Panther became Star-Lord instead of the Black Panther, right? And the way that the Black Panther gets picked up by the aliens, he throws a spear out of Wakanda and has to run out of the protective barrier to get the spear, and the aliens pick him up.
So he got kidnapped for being a spear chucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, guys.
Isn't that kind of historically accurate, though, right?
Like he's a little kid.
Well,
He
you have
throws
to
his
be a
little spear.
bad spear checker.
Damn.
And He runs out there, he gets a spear, and then the aliens kidnap him instead of the right person. And then
Instead of the right person? You mean the white person?
Well, yeah. I guess they show later in the episode, they show that Peter Quill is working at a restaurant sweeping the floors.
Oh, okay. All right, hold on.
I just wanted to shit on Chris Pratt for being a Christian.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love Chris Pratt, like,
All right, hold on.
like movies,
Hold
but
on.
like, I don't. I'm sorry.
All right, Human Skin Lampy donated $10. Matt, thank you so much. He said, here's 10, not for 30% of Susan's box wine. No 30% for Susan's box wine. Yes.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Yes, nice jab. Like it. All right, man. Appreciate it big time. All right, sorry. So, all right, let's watch this shit for a minute. All right, just this bitch, she's.
All right, good evening, everyone. We're going to read out tonight with a message to Republicans. Okay, we get it. COVID is the precious, and you love it. You love COVID so much, you want it to spread in the schools, at the office, in the Walmart, on the cruise ships, and at the club. That gray spongy ball with the red spikes, you want it pumping through your veins with an ivermectin chase.
I still wear a mask, even though I am twice vaccinated. That's my gang sign.
You're gonna die.
Pleasure to see you. Let's start with that question. Given what you know now, what really happened in Wuhan?
Look, I think there's a growing body of evidence that takes this outbreak back earlier to the September-October timeframe in 2019. This new information that we're hearing today, it's going to be in the Sky News documentary on Monday night, as you said. It's also in my book, the first chapter of my book, What Really Happened in Wuhan, on the front page of the paper today. This is a major revelation. This is China's most famous defector to America. He's known as the father of China's democracy movement, Wei Jingsheng, and he tried to alert U.S. intelligence agencies last year, in 2019, in November 2019, that there was a coronavirus spreading in Wuhan. He says he first heard about it in October during the military games. It's like the Olympics for athletes, and they were taking place in Wuhan in October. This is being described as potentially the first super spreader event. And so Wei Jingsheng, who was once a Communist Party insider, found out about the coronavirus, and he really tried hard to sound the alarm. I've interviewed other people he told at that time. One of them, Diamond Liu, she'll also be in the Sky News documentary on Monday night. And this just shows that when China only admitted in late January that the virus was capable of human-to-human transmission, that the virus was contagious, in fact, this was months after they knew they had a problem.
So in your interview with the whistleblower, Shari, and we played a clip of it before, he alludes to the person who knew, had the ear of the president. Does he say who it was?
He doesn't. Look, I think whoever that politician is, there will be a lot of, if their identity is ever revealed, there will be a lot of questions about what that politician did. Did he alert the president, Donald Trump at the time? If so, what action was taken? These are very serious questions. Wei Jingsheng told a politician close to the president. He also told the US intelligence agencies that there was a coronavirus in Wuhan in November 2019. What was done with this information? As David Asher, he spearheaded a task force inside the State Department into the origins of COVID-19. As he says to me, this sort of intelligence that was either overlooked or not acted on, not taken seriously enough. He said, it could have been like preventing 9/11 before it happened. The US agencies had in their possession information that warned of a coronavirus. We need to know what they did, because now we've had 4.6 million people die as a result of this global pandemic.
It's a big exclusive that you got. You just talked about Trump, a big exclusive that you got with the president as well, a one-on-one interview. What sort of insight was he able to share with you, Shari?
Look, it was a really fascinating interview, Pete, and the main thing he shared, I'm not about to tell you it right now, of course, it's on Sky News documentary on Monday night, but the main thing he shared is the intelligence that he was looking at that convinced him this virus leaked from a lab. You'll remember that in April last year, April 2020, he came out and said there was strong evidence that this was a lab leak. Everyone ridiculed him at the time, and then he never said what evidence he was looking at that convinced him. That was a question I put to him repeatedly in my interview with him, and we did get some answers, and that's going to be big news on Monday night.
Okay, and just finally, Shari, was it a lab leak? Is that what it was?
Look, I think the overwhelming evidence points to the involvement of the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Whether it was a natural virus that they collected from the caves in the Yunnan province, or whether it was originally a natural virus that was then subject to their laboratory research, but all the evidence indicates there was a leak from that lab. There is no evidence that suggests this was a natural virus that just naturally jumped from animals to humans.
So it was a bit of folly, that something came from the wet market.
absolutely, that was a nonsense story from the beginning. It never stacked up, and it's kind of embarrassing now when you look back at how world leaders, including Scott Morrison, were calling for the closure of unhygienic wet markets. They might be unhygienic, but this isn't where the virus came from.
Okay, Sherry Markson, terrific stuff. Thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate that.
And data available showed a waning efficacy of vaccines after a certain number of months.
Waning efficacy of vaccines. I do have another question about the president's COVID plan. He promised on September 9th that he was going to send 50% more supply of monoclonal antibodies to states. Yet, the Biden administration is cutting supplies in red states by 50%. So, for example, in Florida, they were expecting to get 70,000 doses this week, which they say they need. They're only getting 30,000 doses. And this is not just for unvaccinated people. In South Florida, half the people who are seeking this treatment are fully vaccinated. So, why is the Biden administration cutting?
What do you think about that shit?
This is the first I've heard about this.
Yeah, I hadn't heard this either. That's
Yeah.
a little.
Red states are getting half of their shit diverted for, listen to this. You know what she's going to say?
Migrants.
The E word.
Look at the look on her face.
The E word.
These supplies.
That's not accurate. So let me give you the accurate information. First of all, we are increasing our distribution this month by 50%. In early August, we were distributing an average of 100,000 doses per week. Now we're shipping an average of 150,000 doses per week. Over the last month, though, and one thing that I think people need to understand for clarity, facts, I know you're like facts, is that monoclonal antibodies are life-saving therapies that are used after infection to prevent more severe outcomes. So clearly the way to protect people and save more lives is to get them vaccinated so that they don't get the COVID to begin with. But over the last month, given the rising cases due to the Delta variant and the lower number of vaccination rates in some of these states, like Florida, like Texas, just 7 states are making up 70% of the orders. Our supply is not unlimited, and we believe it should be equitable across states across the country. Do you?
Equitable.
But hold on. None of that made any fucking sense.
Their job is to not make sense.
Well,
and
it's
then
like
they can't
and
be
to
held
circle back.
accountable for anything, because then you can't really nail them down for anything, because nothing they said made sense.
Did y'all see last week where somebody asks her, the guy asked her straight up front, he goes, are we demanding that the immigrants come in are vaccinated? And she said no.
No.
Basically,
she
like
said-
no and fuck you.
She said correct. Next
Yeah.
question.
Next question.
Well,
like,
okay.
He was the dude from Fox.
yeah,
He asked the best
Ducey.
questions. I think.
Ducey. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
I
The
think he's coming.
CDC straight said that that the vaccine doesn't actually inoculate you against the virus. It just makes the symptoms less. So she lied right there. It doesn't keep you from getting it. It's not an actual vaccine.
I know, they keep saying that.
Right.
Yeah.
But she's the only one saying it. Her own departments are not saying it.
It's a mRNA inoculant. So
Yeah.
bend the fuck over
She
and
is
have
a great
your.
press secretary, I think. Like she has
Presbyterian?
done she has done such a great job of just keeping everything in like this basic order of chaos, so that nothing can be like held to. Can be held to. I'm actually
Great at evading.
at first I was like, she's really annoying, and like she's like the longer I watch her, the
Goebbels
more I
would get
can
a hard
appreciate-
on watching this bitch, dude.
Yeah, the more I can appreciate like what
Yeah.
she's doing, and it's just like for what she's having to deal with, this administration that she's having to work with and shit. I'm like, wow, you're just doing an amazing job of just dodging everything, you know?
Yeah.
We'll circle back to that.
There's been no reports of a lack of supply, so why cut them to those states only if there's no reports
I think
of
our role as the government overseeing the entire country is to be equitable in how we distribute. We're not going to give a greater percentage to Florida over Oklahoma, nor do I think are you suggesting that.
I understand the hesitancy. Listen, I was hesitant when Donald Trump was out there controlling the CDC and controlling the FDA and manipulating them and making them put out falsehoods. Anybody rational was hesitant. But the reality is now, what I really fear
Florida's got
is
like
masses
5
of
times as
more
many
mass.
people as Oklahoma. Do you give them the same amount of shit?
Yeah, it's retarded. It's
Yeah,
literally
Florida.
retarded.
No one goes to Oklahoma to retire. Every Jew in the world. goes to
remember,
Florida
all
to
right. So
retire.
remember how we opened this little segment with Joy talking about the COVID being the precious for Republicans. Well, this is like 2 or 3 days after that.
But the reality is now, what I really fear is more masses of people dying. 666,000 people have died, and disproportionately.
And for clarity, facts. I know you're like facts.
Listen to what she said.
Is that monoclonal antibodies are life-saving therapies that are used after infection to prevent more severe outcomes. So clearly the way to protect people and save more lives is to get them vaccinated so that they don't get the COVID to begin with. But over the last month, given the rise in cases due to the Delta variant and the lower number of vaccination rates in some of these states like Florida, like Texas, just 7 states are making up 70% of the orders. Our supply is not unlimited, and we believe it should be equitable across states across the country.
There's been no reports of a lack of supply, so why cut them to those states only if there's no reports?
I think our role as the government overseeing the entire country is to be equitable in how we distribute. We're not going to give a greater percentage to Florida over Oklahoma, nor do I think are you suggesting that.
I'm thinking you should, because there are a greater percentage of Americans in Florida than there are in Oklahoma.
It's all because all she can think about is coveralls and kitchen knives and stabbing people.
Okay, but that's not equity. Hold on. They just took more than half of the doses that Florida was supposed to get. Florida's one of the most diverse states in the union, guys.
Yeah, but equity means that if you don't agree with us, that you're not equal, so you don't get as much.
Well, technically, I mean, if you want me to pull a map up, I can do that. Most of the black people are concentrated in red states.
Yeah.
Which is an inconvenient reality that these fucktards aren't. See, what they're saying is, so the red states, a shitload of black people are saying ixnay to the Axvay.
That's because they remember crack. They grew up in the
they remember
80s.
fucking Tuskegee, man. Fucking Tuskegee, and then there was all the fucking eugenic experiments that was put on them and shit.
Mm-hmm.
They know from this shit, AIDS and shit.
The funny thing is that they're not telling you. Florida has a higher vaccination rate than Illinois and Michigan, but meanwhile they're acting like Florida and Texas and other red states are the problem.
But you see, they are, because they're undermining the authority of the fucking.
I mean, verbally, I guess we are, but meanwhile, the numbers don't match because blue states, their populations are less vaccinated than the rest of us.
But I mean,
yeah, but
Becca,
you see, they
I
vote
almost called you
correctly.
Tema. But Becca, you got to know this: the red states make these people see red so bad.
It's all
because
bad.
red. It's really all goes back to because they all hate Indian people.
Native Americans. I
They
saw
hate
your
Native
mom.
Americans. Yep,
Really
see, I
is,
figured it out.
really
Man.
is.
Yeah.
It all
They
comes
were
full
like,
circle.
red man is bad, red woman's bad, so we got to get rid of the red.
All right, so listen to what this big bitch says, okay? All right, and think about what she's going to say, and it's all because of an election that she has this opinion. Deluxe Super Chats, Border Crisis, YouTube was a YouTube link.
Yeah. I'll click it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, there's
No. I've got that. I've got a thing about it. I'll pop it up. I'll pull it up after this shit. All right. I'll be real quick, but listen to Joy Reid. You know what? I love
this fucking woman.
I'm so grateful this woman exists because it gives me a focus. I don't need 2 minutes of hate. I've got every time that bitch is on TV, it's like I'm there.
I understand the hesitancy. Listen, I was hesitant when Donald.
She was hesitant. She was hesitant when Donald Trump was president.
Trump was out there controlling the CDC and controlling the FDA and manipulating them and making them put out falsehoods. Anybody rational was hesitant. But the reality is now.
Well, controlling the CDC.
Wow.
Did Donald Trump control the CDC?
Shut the fuck up!
I'm sorry.
I'm amazed.
You were
Exactly
rational
right.
if you're questioning it then. Just because Trump.
Yeah. You know that pause you got right there, right? It looks like this woman and that guy have hair on the opposite sides of their heads.
It does kind of look like a weird.
They're like bookends, man. That's funny as shit. Excellent. Nice. Trippy gets 5 points for observation.
A fucking flat brown dung beetle is all I see. Fuck these two.
All right, hold on a second.
Now, what I really fear is more masses of people dying. 666,000 people have died, and disproportionately, they look like you and me, Michael. And what scares me is that people are creating a cultural imperative to set themselves up for death when the people pushing them to do it, like Tuckums, are vaccinated and safe, and even if they got COVID, are going to get over it.
Well, what she's saying is that Nicki Minaj needs to get back on the plantation and shut the fuck up. That's what she's saying.
All the monoclonal antibodies, they could give a damn if Nicki Minaj gets COVID and dies. They don't care about
safety. Something that I want to make sure the American public understand. It's not only safety when you inject somebody and they get maybe an idiosyncratic reaction. They get
maybe like idiosyncratic. 12,000 dead people is idiosyncratic.
All right, this is during the Trump administration.
Not only safety when you inject somebody and they get maybe an idiosyncratic reaction, they get a little allergic reaction, they get pain. There's safety associated. Does the vaccine make you worse? And there are diseases in which you vaccinate someone, they get infected with what you're trying to protect them with, and you actually enhance the infection. You can get a good feel for that in animal models. So that's going to be interspersed at the same time that we're testing. We're going to try and make sure we don't have enhancement. So the worst possible thing you could do is vaccinate somebody to prevent infection and actually make them worse.
The first part of the plan is to vaccinate the unvaccinated.
It does create enhancement, though. That's the thing. This vaccine does create enhancement. That's the problem.
I know, but he was talking about an actual vaccine there. I mean,
yeah, he's actually.
I like this one.
Virology. Like,
She was like, so,
not genetics.
There were, all right, so these two gymnasts, we don't have a lot of time. So what I'll do is I'll talk about these. These two gymnasts were part of like 400 people that were molested by this fucking doctor, this Olympic doctor.
Nasser?
Right?
Oh my God. Oh my
Larry
God.
Nassar.
Yeah. Check this out. These two bitches told the FBI years ago. And there's evidence that they've known this shit for years and years and years and years, and they never busted his ass. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with the FBI?
Larry Nassar needs to be drug into a public square and literally stomped to death.
Whoa. All right, so Bubba Wallace, this car driver in Talladega, Alabama. All right, so he has a garage door pull that somebody kind of thinks it looks like a noose. They sent 15 agents down there.
I thought it was.
Are
50.
you fucking
It was 15.
kidding? And
Yeah, it was.
Bubba Wallace.
All right.
Well, you know what I'm saying. All right. So they've got their shit all fucked up. And it's
almost
deliberate.
as if our intelligence agencies have been completely compromised by political agendas.
Yes.
For decades.
True.
It's a bear in every hand, a bullet in every
Almost as
commie
if they were
at 2024.
But honestly,
almost, huh?
Yeah.
You guys just she cute.
Ask yourself,
Oh, dude,
what could that do to your wife? Whoa. Thanks for the $5. Whoever said it, so it's probably Ed, I would think. But hey, it is what it is. All right, so there was some the testimony. It was really powerful, and this is shit that didn't get touched. This was the I usually do a roll where we look at stuff that all the Afghanistan shit. We've kind of touched on that. Let's see, where is that shit? All right. Oh, there we go, Ted. Good old Ted.
He's obviously in Texas. I recognize the shirt.
Other thoughts pop up in people's mind. You have to hope that we have our eye on the ball, Joe Concha, because otherwise, I hate to, I don't want to say it. You know what I'm thinking. I don't want to say it, but God forbid that happens again.
All right, thanks, Joe.
I know what I'm thinking, by the way. That tie, is that peach? I want to end this on a happy note. I'm trying to get the color, and I can't quite identify it.
It's really red, though.
It's red. It's red. I know
it's like a Nantucket red, maybe?
Going into the story now.
Here now at the Del Rio International Bridge in Texas, where thousands of illegal immigrants wait to be processed, is Senator Ted Cruz. And Senator, first of all, the FAA, we know the DOJ's been weaponized. Now the FAA is going to be weaponized?
It really is ridiculous. I've never seen anything like that. The drone footage started this morning, and people across the country were horrified. And I guess the political operatives at the Biden White House saw that and decided the last thing they want is Fox News actually reporting on what's happening down here. So now the FAA is saying, please, no journalists allowed. As you know, they did the same thing in the Donna tent facility in the Rio Grande Valley, where they wouldn't allow Fox News to come in when I brought 19 senators to the Rio Grande.
Yeah, so they weaponized the FAA to deny airspace to this drone to report reality, the truth to you. How pissed off is anybody right now? I'm fucking pissed. This pisses me off.
I told you, man, at the beginning, I literally don't give a shit about anything.
No transparency
I understand
in
that.
this administration, especially compared to Trump's transparency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was grown. I was taught to love my country.
Yeah,
and
right now you're supposed to love something you don't even know nothing about.
Right.
That's how they're trying to do it. Just love us unconditionally as your government and your overlord. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Open up your fucking legs and let us see what's in there. And then maybe we can have some trust. What the fuck?
It's a tranny, Trippy. It's always a tranny.
Indeed, it's a trap.
Why I said open up the legs.
It's a trap. Literally. It's literally a trap.
I want to know if our government stands up to pee or sits down.
Oh, it's
Fair
true.
enough. All right,
But it's still got a dick.
It finishes out.
Valley.
We can turn it
I had
down.
to go in with my cell phone and photograph and take
See,
video.
this is what gets me about this whole thing is they're pretending like this isn't happening still.
Well, all right, so they reported it as 3,000, the government did, but it's more like 10 or 20 now.
Taking videos of what's happening there. It is the most horrific thing I've ever seen. There are right now, as
they're
we're
lying about
speaking-
the numbers.
Go ahead, sir.
Does anybody else think that Ted Cruz
Right
looks
now,
like
as
the
we're
heat
speaking,
miser?
there are 10,503 people
The what miser?
under that
The
bridge.
heat miser,
It is
man.
packed in
Like-
as a mass
Friends call
of
me
humanity.
heat
And it
miser.
is
Like the
Whatever I
scoop of
touch.
it until you
Yeah.
see it, and I'm
Yes.
putting those videos out tonight. You'll get a chance
Isn't that
to
from
see
Santa
it.
Claus is coming
They
to town?
Take your breath away.
It's from the one with fucking
infants,
Mother
Oh
Nature.
shit,
children,
you're
people,
right. I get it.
people struggling
it
in
now.
North.
Yeah, Killing Joke uses him as a avatar sometimes.
Fucking love that movie.
And something stuck.
Put one
Yes.
foot in front of the other.
Why am I
remember
not
that shit like I
surprised
heard
that's
it
one of your
yesterday.
favorite movies, Reggie?
It follows suit.
Man,
Reggie's good movies, man.
yeah.
I'm trying.
It seems fitting, dude.
I don't know.
It's a good movie,
All
man.
right, so we kind of all right.
It is.
We looked at the border crisis, man. It's a shit show. All right, check
Yeah,
this
it's
out.
pretty-
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
All right,
time to start telling people to fuck the right fuck off and go fucking home.
All right,
No more transferring people into the fucking country. Go the fuck home. America has enough extra people now. Fuck the fuck right off. We're about ready to have a labor problem anyway. No, our economy isn't fucking stable enough. Fucking everything's falling apart. Our infrastructure isn't running right, and crime is going through the roof. We don't need more people right now. Fuck right the fuck off.
Yeah,
Bye.
but it's
Go the
Emma,
fuck
you
away.
don't understand. They're women and children, and they're poor, and they just want to come.
I don't
here and
fucking
work.
care.
But
I don't
they're-
fucking care.
But it's Emma. They're gonna die. There's gangs that they themselves kind of
Officially,
created by who they voted into
and
power.
not
But
paid
ignore that.
reporter-
Their
on the
countries are
ground in
experiencing
Texas,
a labor
Texas Senator
shortage
Ted
because
Cruz.
everybody's trying to
Thank
get
you
into
for sharing the
America.
videos with us
Fuck
on
the
a
fuck
serious
right
note.
off.
It's an important
Don't tell me
story.
you're fucking
Thank you,
poor.
Senator.
That's your fucking problem. There's opportunity in your country. Go the fuck away now.
Yeah, but they're so poor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
And
they,
it's their
they
own
don't
making.
have
That's
a
why we
so
call
we
them
have
the
a
third
connection.
world, not the second world. 'Cause
All right.
All right, let's
Sorry.
watch this. All right, let's check this out real quick.
On a serious note, it's an
I'm so
important
goddamn
story.
tired of swarms of
Thank you,
people.
Senator.
They're saying the Taliban is businesslike and professional. Their interior minister has an FBI wanted poster. He's got a $10 million bounty on his head. What's the business?
We are here to celebrate the return of American citizens who wanted to leave Afghanistan. In order to get those people out, we had to work with some members of the Taliban to press them and to work in a business-like manner to get them out.
Celebration?
You know who
What do
was
you
really
say?
good at business? Donald.
Yeah, Liz, I mean, that's one of the great misdirects I've ever seen out there because they know it's coming from weakness. Look, tomorrow you're going to see the formation of one of the great terrorist states in the world. It's going to be a lot bigger than ISIS ever had their caliphate grow to. And you're going to see inside that terrorist state, you're going to see the resurgence of Al-Qaeda. You're going to see the Haqqani network come to power. You're going to see ISIS-K out there. And then at the borders contiguous with Iran, who we've declared a state sponsor of terrorism. I mean,
what, you mean
I know they can
air
misdirect.
slave trade that's still going on?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What's worse, man? Becoming, being forced to convert to Islam or become a communist?
Oh, dude, I'm a man. I would totally be fine in Islam. I can grow facial hair and shit.
You fucking read
I'd
my
be
mind.
fine, dude. I'd be all right.
Yeah.
Fuck it, give me an AK, inshallah, brother. Fucking.
Chechens already love me, so I'll go through
Yeah,
that.
dude, I'll be all right.
Give Virgie an AK and a goat, and he'll be set.
Yeah, dude, I'll ride that motherfucker off into the sunset. If my other options are fucking,
You don't get
we lost him.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's like
Oh,
the top of the
okay,
hour.
you're-
That was basically what I wanted to show.
No, your thing popped down to the bottom, and I thought that you dropped out of the call, and I was
My
like,
thing
oh, cool,
popped
I
down
can
to the
say hard
bottom.
R's.
Oh man, if I was just on Odyssey, I would let you say whatever the fuck you wanted to,
If
man.
we were just on Odyssey, you wouldn't be able to stop me from saying whatever the
No,
fuck I wanted
exactly,
to.
man, exactly. But we are on Odyssey, but we're also on YouTube, and we know what that means.
Yeah.
All right, and I see that.
Abide by the law of the land.
Is
a
it
little
Miss
bit.
Becca dumping everybody's? Everybody, put your links in there if Becca hadn't
I
done
don't
it
want
for you
these
yet.
fucking degenerates coming over to my chat.
Why not, man? Are you fixing to fire it
Wait a
up,
minute, did
Virgie?
you call us degenerates, Virgie?
Yeah, of course. Dude, what are you talking about? I'm a fine young Christian lad. I
Yes, I know
fucking
you and
aced
your
my apologist class, I'll have you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you're a fine Christian Minecraft.
Hey.
Hey, yeah, we do need to throw some love at the memory of Norm Macdonald. Probably one of the funniest
Rest in
trolls.
peace, Norm.
You know, he was the troll's troll, man.
Dude, he played the entire cast of The
That
View.
was my hero.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was one of my favorites for sure. But you know
You
what?
know, I'm really mad that he
keeps
died.
Coming up in my head.
What's that?
Do you guys remember the YouTube comedy thing that they did back in the day?
Kind of.
What his show?
That's
There
so
was a
vague.
YouTube comedy show, right? And they had like guys like fucking Andy Samberg and shit and whatnot. And they got Norm to be one of the hosts for the YouTube awards.
yeah.
He literally doesn't know a single one of these fucking people.
Nice.
Not any of them. And Sarah Silverman is one of the hosts, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not incorrect. And
Oh God.
He knows her.
dude, Norm shows up in just a pair of sweatpants and like a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, is that when he read from the joke book, or no?
No, that was his show on. That was the.
That was
I can't remember what the
roast.
fuck the show
No,
was
that
called.
was when he kept fucking with what's
Norm
her name?
Macdonald Live.
Silverman, man.
He
I'm
fucked
pretty
with
sure-
every single human being he ever came across.
Dude.
Oh God.
Like, a lot of
You
those-
know what? I'm mad that he died because I was in the middle of a plan to fuck with him, and I was going to get him to acknowledge my jokes. Like
Man.
the whole Carlos Mancini stealing a joke thing.
Yeah.
So I've got
Yeah.
like 50 or 60 fucking memes that I made of him, of jokes that I made up that are just really fucking like he'd have to like get canceled for jokes. And I was going to like flood the market with them so that he had
They're pretty
to
good.
deny
yeah.
that the joke wasn't his, but he wished it was. And that,
Like they're
Like,
good.
it's
like
hard
I will
to tell.
yeah. And I've got
Right.
like 50 or 60 of them so far. I'm so fucking mad.
They are very Norm-esque humor.
Mhm.
So
Like
Yeah.
some of them.
Yeah, the whole
Man.
idea of
Couldn't
norm
tell.
posting even is that you have to write the joke in like his voice. And
Yeah.
so there's like some of them where the joke's long as fuck and it's just a bunch of like, and shit like that, where he's just
Yeah.
like dragging the story on.
Well,
and on and
so
on.
if you listen to the moth story,
Oh my God, that's one of the best jokes ever.
that is
yeah.
funny as shit.
Yeah, because the
Um,
light was on.
Yeah. Well, man, you just told the fucking. You just told that was
I
kind
need
of a
to
norm
actually
thing to
watch
do.
I think everyone.
We've all heard it. Yeah.
Did you guys see the
I think
one
pretty
with
much
him?
everybody here has.
It's a
the
Norm
one with
heavy
him on
kind
Larry
of crowd.
when he was on Larry King, Norm Macdonald, and he told Larry that he was a deeply closeted person.
Yeah,
that was great.
That means
that
you're
was
gay,
funny
right?
as shit, man. Yeah.
Never admit
That
to being
shit's
gay.
great. He was really fucking with Larry King.
Oh yeah, it would be like he
Everything
was like
seriously.
yeah, it's like yeah. I like the I like what's wrong with being gay with the gay pride parade, man. It's like we just want to suck a cock or something. I mean, but I'm not gay, But every once in a while, though, you do like to suck a cock and maybe get have your ass tore up by just get pegged. It's like it's nothing wrong with it. Everybody does it. It's human.
Everybody does it.
Right? So yeah, I love that, man.
Oh,
it was
God,
so
Norm was
sad
the
that he
best.
died, but he died like he fucking lived, man. Like on his terms. And
You know what? I got a great link for you, Irate. You
Killer.
might even end up wanting to fucking play this. Let me pull it out
Now?
of my. I was gonna play this.
Dude,
on
if
my
I play
show.
any of that shit, man, I've got like a whole bunch of stuff I downloaded, and I'm thinking, man, they're gonna fucking copyright the fuck out of me.
I don't know. I did a Norm, like my whole show was nothing but Norm on Thursday night.
Oh fuck, man, I missed
They
it.
didn't know it.
good.
Yeah, they didn't know it.
This moving shit's good for the birds, man. I'm just saying.
I just DM'd you.
My
It's Norm
favorite-
Macdonald foreshadowing his battle with
Yeah,
cancer.
is that from I'm Not Norm?
I can't remember where.
The
Yeah,
channel.
yeah,
where,
the
where
channel.
he talks about like he has no respect for people going out there and being like, oh, I have cancer, and yeah.
He's literally describing how he ended up handling his cancer.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why he's
Like,
the master.
you
was,
don't make
like,
a big
just laid
deal
it
out
out
of
there.
it.
What
You
Yes,
don't make
why would
any
you
deal out of it.
With everybody like that.
We would like
No,
literally
he's not
talk
here.
about Norm Macdonald like daily, and I didn't even know he was sick. Like, no,
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
anybody did.
That's
My
why they
uncle
said,
passed away this week, and that was so sad. And then like Norm died, and that just like put me in
Yeah.
a hole for a day. Like it was just
I
like
feel you,
extra.
man. Double
He's
dose.
He's the first celebrity I've ever been like really sad for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really like where
Yeah.
it bothered me. I had to sit down and make a pot of coffee or something. Be like,
I already know. Don't fucking talk to me when Paul McCartney goes, because I'm gonna be in my own little fucking sad little hole.
Well, send a great
I remember-
He already
Valentine
died
to
in
the
like
memory of Norm
1964 in a
Macdonald,
car wreck,
man.
yeah, dude. Well, he means Paul McCartney
It was
V 2.0.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Thorough
fall, okay?
placement.
Talking about fall.
Paul McCartney.
Yes.
Charlie Daniels had that impact on me. I grew up listening to Charlie Daniels, and I liked his
Devil
song.
went down to Georgia looking for a
And it
solid
just
stay up.
really bummed me out.
way behind because he's willing to make it down.
The premise cover
Yeah,
of
that's
that
right.
song was better.
Yeah, Bill
I do have a
Clinton
weird
singing
Quite
Charlie
fantastic.
Daniels because he loves that shit, man. Especially on
I
that
think-
cocaine.
I think Paul
Um,
McCartney's gonna still be alive when I die.
Yeah, you know it, man.
He's
He'll
gonna
be
be
a head in a
like
jar.
900.
He'll be literally,
I know I'm not gonna be okay when Tom Hanks dies. I'm
Aw.
not
Oh.
gonna be
Oh, I
okay.
can.
I don't know,
I can
man.
believe
Have you
it. I
heard
can
the shit about
black pill you
him?
on
What?
Black
Really?
pill you on
Y'all
Tom
red
Hanks.
pilled on
Tom
that
Hanks.
shit? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to talk about that shit now.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's internet lore out there that
Dude, Tom Hanks was aware of all that Hollywood fucked up
he's
shit.
in the sauce deep, like Seth
Yes.
Green.
Well,
Man.
he went to Greece for a reason.
That's
Yeah.
why he was out
Oh,
there
Seth
calling
Green
himself
totally got raped in Hollywood.
American
That
Pie.
absolutely happened. His
No.
fucking little redhead kid.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Well,
fuck.
you know, but they say he's got a fucking molestation room in his house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
pretty
he?
much
I don't
Seth
believe
Green.
No wonder he plays with toys all the time and fucking.
No shit, dude.
All right,
Like,
so
I heard that
yeah, I
Seth
got to
Green
change
was
the
like-
subject, man.
Yeah, let's do that.
Timo, what you got coming up?
Well, I think we're going to be doing accelerated deconstruction on
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I'm going to have a connection because we talked about it off camera or off stream. Hopefully I will. I'm going to try to finagle some shit and figure out what I can do to have a connection.
Okay.
But I've got ways. I actually have tools that I have a tablet that I can actually run our stream off of. So I could be on the show on Wednesday, hopefully. So, but it all depends on internet connection. So.
Ed said it. Tom Hanks diddles kids.
Yeah.
Good job.
Asherella? What you got coming up?
Okay, well, new videos all the time, like coming out. I try to do at least 1 or 2 a week. So gently caress the notification bell on my channel. Also, I'm working on a live stream, and I think within the next week or so, I'm gonna do like a soft opening stream, like where it's like private to like practice kind of, and make sure I've got all the OBS and stuff down. So, like, anybody that, like, would want to be a part of that or have a link sent to that, let me know, because I don't know, it's just going to be my, like dress rehearsal stream, I guess. Cool. And then, and commentary that we are doing live on Twitch now on Sundays with Shigon and Bubonic, and then Object of Hate also. And we just, like, watch a movie and talk over it, and are kind of annoying about it, but it's pretty fun. And, yeah, so all that stuff.
Is it,
and Keynote and Commentary is on Bubonic's channel on Twitch, so look for that.
Me or did Shigon just
And
sound
the movies
exactly
are
like Ash?
fucking awesome.
Anybody
Yeah,
else
we have
notice?
good picks.
You'll like this week's movie, Irate.
Nice.
I feel like Shigon sounded a lot like Asherella right there.
Who did?
I am.
I thought
Asherella.
Irate said Shigon.
No.
No, didn't he say it? Didn't he say? I'm sorry if I went out of turn.
What did I say? I didn't say Shigon.
Said Shigon.
Oh. I thought he did.
No, Becca would be next.
It's yeah.
I thought he said Shigon for some reason. I'm sorry.
He goes in alphabetical order every fucking time.
And I'm not hired of him.
Oh,
trying
can't
to,
blame the weed, dude. That's yeah, man. I feel you.
You guys brushed off on me.
I'm gonna
All right,
find
Becker. All right, what do you got coming up?
Schedule for this weekend is gonna be kind of iffy. Just keep an eye out on my Twitter, Discord. I'll keep you guys posted.
Okay. Bubonic, what about you, man? I guess the
we're watching Dune tomorrow night.
Oh, the David Lynch.
No, Sunday night.
Sunday
Yeah.
night.
Oh no, Sunday night. Yeah. Tomorrow's like, well, it's Monday or Saturday, so on the East Coast it's Saturday.
Don't confuse people though.
Dune, like the 1984. with
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, what's the time?
Nice.
Yeah, we're
with
watching that for
Sting,
Keynote
yeah.
commentary tomorrow. I got on Mondays at 8:00. I do the super secret comfy stream, and then on Thursdays we have the informative massacre porn. And Object will finally be back. He's been off doing a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah.
So I don't know where we're going. I don't know if we're going to go back and see if we can get more on the child soldiers
Bubonic.
in Africa that keep massacring everybody, or what's going on. I'd really like to find footage of that because
God. What time is Kino on Sunday?
Sunday is at 6. Though I'd really like to. I don't know. Yeah, I think
Well,
it's
it's on the time zone.
Yeah, and 6 o'clock on the Eastern Standard.
Yeah.
So,
5 Central.
really,
time.
really, I should probably talk to the gang about because that's right after your interview is when I'd really like to just back.
There's a bit of an overlap, I believe.
Yeah, because there's an overlap.
It is what it is. Okay. Shigon?
Like everything Boo just said, basically.
See?
So.
All right, yeah. All right, so let's roll out here. Trippy, what do you got coming up, dude?
I got a Sunday show, and I never know what's on it anymore, so that's good.
I feel you.
Thursdays probably streaming video games on Twitch. And
Trippy's
then-
Sunday
actually,
show is really fun.
Wednesday was what
It
I should have
is.
said first, but yeah, thank you. And
You're
Wednesdays
welcome.
we
Yeah,
got
I like
Boys
catching your
Watch
show.
World Star Wednesday. Yeah,
Mhm.
4:20 Eastern Standard Time. That's been working out pretty fucking well.
Yeah.
I've been able to pay B
Except for
tokens
I'm
for the
still
last
at
two
work.
shows.
Yeah, and it's nice. I can hop in every once in a while. It's a great show. It's great to watch them do that World Star thing.
And B finds all those videos. I give him credit.
Mhm.
B Token finds all those videos.
Dude is like a ferret. Just,
Yeah.
Great producer.
Most of the
Yeah.
time, he finds them the same day we do the show. So
Fuck
he
yeah.
wakes up, he goes directly on World Star. And starts
Just remember, man, are you going to World Star? Just type in the search bar, just damn. JUST
That's what we did at the end
space
of the show.
DAMN.
On
And I
Wednesday.
swear to God, yeah. Did you do it?
Yeah, we typed it in. At the
Yeah.
end of the
What'd
show.
y'all get? Anything good?
Dude, we got one video of this lady with a lice infestation in her hair. And we found another one where this girl is fucking with a muskrat, I think, right, Virgie?
Yeah, I think that's what we came to.
She called it a fat rat. And she's like, look at this fat rat. And she keeps fucking with it until it bites.
I remember that.
Bit the shit
Yeah,
out of it.
yeah, bit the shit out of it. Yeah, I thought it was a wombat, but it was a muskrat.
She got everything she deserved.
Indeed. All right, Virgil, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Well, you know, the usual fucking, I don't have really too great of a fucking, you know, solid schedule, but I cover the fucking usual cows I've been covering, and keep an eye out. I'm trying to put together an Odyssey stream where I'm going to get somebody, probably fucking, I'll hit up AP or somebody and see if they want to watch that fucking tranny MMA fight, the last one that came out.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, I have all of it.
What?
I have like the full fight, and it's great, dude. Home dude just blocks every punch that chick fucking throws with his face, and then just dominates her. It's fucking great, man. I've never seen a woman get her ass beat by a man that was in Spec Ops. Harder and in better quality than fucking that fight.
Is that fucked up or what, man? Right?
Was it better than the Ronda Rousey beating?
Oh, it was way better than he literally just blocks every punch with his fucking face and just dominates her ass.
I gotta see this shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, so next Odyssey stream, I'm gonna be it's a short fight. Fancy that.
Yeah,
but
no shit, right?
Fucking
who'd have thunk that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to fucking do that on the next Odyssey stream. And at some point, I'm working on doing like a 4-hour fucking why I fucking hate furries stream.
Oh, you should get with bubonic on that, Virgie.
Yeah, I'm already starting to go back
dude.
to. You guys remember back in the day that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you ever see that troll that fucking AP pulled on Scooby with the furry thing? Like, is that account still around? Scooby 331. Something furry.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh my god, those were funny as shit. You need to get him to show you that shit.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about from the fucking the Scooby docs.
Yeah,
because I've watched all of the fucking Scooby documentaries like twice, dude. That shit is so fucking fun. AP doing it as like a Star Wars flick.
Mm-hmm.
It was the funniest fucking shit on the face of the
I'm
planet.
in that.
It's a good
highly
you
creative.
are.
Oh yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, that shit was great.
Holy shit.
That was
yeah,
Samuel
so
Jackson.
fucking, I'm gonna be I'm going back to, you guys remember, I don't know, like a few years ago, shut up, Trippy, a few years ago, there was that kid on fucking R9K, that fucking robot that blew his fucking brains out on 4chan. Yeah. There was a lot of weird shit around that. And part of it was there was a group of Discord furries that were blackmailing. Basically, what they would do is they would tell kids that, like, hey, like, I'm a 16-year-old girl, send me a picture of you. And then they would start blackmailing them into, like, dressing up as, like, traps and shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Crazy.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a bunch of
covered
fucking
it.
furries on Discord. And there's some more shit to it than that.
Sweet.
All more the reason why furries are flammable.
All right, well, let me chill out and we'll get out of here, all right? All right, Sunday, I will be talking to Roots Out Calhoun, finally. We're going to hang and shoot the shit for a couple hours, hopefully. And I'm excited about it. It was scheduled originally last week, but we had to cancel because of IRL shit. Always comes first. And Monday, Becca and I are going to try to grab that Sky News Australia thing on Wuhan, and we'll be looking at that on Twitch on extra credit from the Gulag.
Yes.
All right. And everybody, let's say goodbye and get the flack out of here.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yeah, fuck
Night,
off.
everybody.
I don't care about any of you. I hate you. All these people
I
are in my
love
audience
everybody.
too.
And fuck you,
I love
Matt.
everybody. Have a good night. Yeah, and fuck you, Matt.
That's supposed to be episode 190. Hey, Tennessee, man. Missed you out there.
just spoke.